And a good evening to everybody. Welcome inside Jack Couch Park. Would you look at that? We have a brand new center field camera. This is Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube, and we will be, of course, on Thursday nights. We are on 98.5 CKWR at the bottom of the hour. My name is Mark Pare alongside JP Soucie. You may have heard his voice a few times this season over down under yonder over in Cambridge, down into Brantford. How's it going?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you very much, Mark. I'm looking forward to tonight. I am a hired gun, and the gunslinger is in Kitchener tonight.
I might just call you that from now on, the gunslinger. Well, you have plenty of experience that you bring into this broadcast booth, so we're definitely looking forward to getting your insight on this matchup and just baseball in general. Of course, the Kitchener Panthers taking on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Kitchener winners of 2 straight games. Chatham-Kent, they won their last matchup on Monday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That was a 9-7 victory on Canada Day. Kitchener, meantime, it's the first winning streak that they've had all season here, JP. And it's one of those things where, yes, it's only the first one, but at the same time, too, this is, kind of where you're at a point where, okay, this is where we need to start building off of these victories.
Absolutely. I'm very familiar with the situation because Brantford found themselves in the same situation, right? They've had a 2-game winning streak that snapped. So, but, how do you start a streak? With win number 1. You keep a streak going by getting number 2. And, that kind of thing builds momentum in baseball. As soon as you get used to winning, you start to like it.
Right? It's a good feeling to have. For Chatham-Kent, meantime, 8-13 on the year. They got their last victory over Toronto on Canada Day. Winners of 2 of their last 3 games as well. What have you made of their team real quick before we go to Canada here?
Well, I kind of liken them to the Las Vegas Knights. I'm sure they want to be right at the top at the end of the season, but at the same time, you want to get it launched. So we need to don our cap and.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to Canada, and when we come back, we'll have some baseball here at Jack Couch Park on a Thursday night. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
So you'll be fighting in France tomorrow, huh? Well, good luck, Captain Colvin. No, and you can be sure we'll take very good care of the bear. You are noting that it's the official mascot of the 2nd Canadian Infantry Brigade?
Yes, sir.
So long, Winnie. You be a good girl while I'm gone.
Why Winnie, sir?
From my hometown, Winnipeg.
Oh, Daddy, I just love Winnie. Couldn't we take him home with us?
Christopher Robin, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll write some stories about Winnie, and Mr. Shepherd here will draw some pictures.
Oh, Daddy, let's call him Winnie the Pooh.
Why Pooh, son?
I don't know, just Winnie the Pooh.
And that's how a young Canadian soldier's bear inspired 4 volumes of stories and verse that still sell millions of copies around the world.
Just wrapping up Canada here on a Thursday night. It's time for some baseball here at Jack Couch Park. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the booth with you. It is the Kitchener Panthers and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Those watching on our YouTube feed, that is your starting lineup. But for those in Radio Land, let's go through the starting 9 for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. This is brought to you by Ethel's Lounge, 114 King Street, North Waterloo, serving up great food for over 30 years. Spencer Marcus is going to lead things off here, JP, along with Dan Patel and Seth Strong. Strong, of course, just coming off Player of the Month laurels in the IBL. And again, just what a season that he has had here so far.
That was a tremendous June. I'm sure he's not looking at stopping. Somebody of that caliber just wants to keep building. And this will be the first chance I've had 2 rainouts with the Barnstormers over at Red Sox. So this will be the first chance I get to see him swing. I'm actually quite excited to watch him swing. And I wanted to talk to him before the game, but he was in some sort of meditation mode, so
Hey,
I wasn't able to get a hold of him.
when you're hitting that strong, you don't change.
Yeah,
much,
let's not intersperse ourselves with some guy that from Cambridge. You don't want to.
Cambridgeites are all right.
Yeah.
Robert Mackey's over at third. Braxton Haggith is in left. Anthony Polowick is at second. Misuki Fukuda is your catcher for the Barnstormers. He's in the seventh spot. Noah Murciano, the DH, and Spencer Morey is in right field. And tonight, they are taking on Yadian Martinez, the IBL leader in strikeouts. Just what a gem he's been able to put on this season. It's been one of those years for him. Actually, now he's in second. My apologies. Ben Abram, because of course the Welland Jackfish have to have players in first in every category. Ben Abram now has 53 strikeouts on the year. Yadian Martinez has 51. So Martinez, with the way he's been pitching, you have to assume that he's going to usurp Abram here tonight.
Well, I always love watching power pitchers.
Well, the guy brings a lot of power, despite I believe he's 5'10". He's not the biggest guy in the world.
Well, I've always said about baseball, you don't have to be tall. You can be short. You can be skinny. You can be chunky. You just can't be weak. When you have that stature on the mound, and he's got some nice arm side run that I'm already seeing. You just gotta be strong, and there's some God-given talent through a baseball.
As that one's going to be fouled away. Remains 0-2. And that one's going to go downstairs, 1-2. Of course, Spencer Marcus, your center fielder for tonight. He's one of many players here in the IBL that are kind of just getting their feet wet in this league. Of course, Marcus, the hometown boy from Chatham. First signing in franchise history, in fact.
He was the first?
He was the
Is that right?
He was the very first.
So he's the franchise?
He is the franchise. I think
All right.
that's actually his nickname.
Well, that's a hefty name to live up to.
It is. Count at 3-2 here. And you'll get contact there. That one gets past Parsons and into left field it goes. And that's a base hit to start things off here for the Barnstormers.
Shortstop number 3, Dan Patel.
There we go. Now you get a mouse. And this will bring up Dan Patel. He is a former London major. Of course, only in his second IBL season. Played for the majors last year. Former St. Thomas Tomcat.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever he holds off, but it's going to go paint some black for strike one.
Have glove will travel.
And Junior's one of the better guys at that, too, where he can really frame up the strike zone very well and kind of expand the strike zone. Throw over to first, not in time. And, of course, the Panthers wearing their red chapeaus tonight. Celebrating Canada Day here on Independence
Canada Day hats?
Swing and a miss. There's a strike.
I'm just going to throw this out there. It is July 4th, and there are players that come up here from the United States to play from the collegiate leagues. I always think of July 4th. There's nothing wrong with playing the American anthem on their Independence Day, just prior to ours. But it didn't happen, so be it. But I would like to wish anybody listening in Happy Independence Day.
Absolutely. Got the I was out somewhere earlier on today and ended up catching the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
Was that right?
I actually got it live. That never happens.
I am no stranger to a meal, but I don't know how they can do that.
So, fun fact, 58 hot dogs was eaten by the winner.
That's crazy.
Joey Chestnut, of course, not entered into the contest this year. But I'm sure he would have cracked 60, maybe even 70. He's just that good, folks. That one's fouled off. Remains 1 and 2 here on Dan Battelle, the shortstop.
I know hot dogs and baseball are closely connected, but that's gorging. 57.
It's a lot.
Like I can understand maybe 40, 45. 57 is just it's a little over the top.
A little bit. Here comes the 1-2. That one's going to get through the gap and into left field. It goes. Another base hit. So back-to-back singles here for the Barnstormers.
Always like that, where you got 2 strikes on you. Now the strike zone expands. You don't get to hit just in your own power zone, and that's where I find the teams, Kitchener being one of them, Brantford, of course, being another, where they're not hitting the ball where it's pitched. That ball was hit where it was pitched. Go with it, put it in left field, and keep the streak, keep the momentum going.
Yeah, like in this ballpark, it can be easy to just think, hey, let's put this over the fence. It's a shorter fence than
Very inviting. This is the bandbox, yeah.
But at the same time, too, you just got to stick to what has worked for your team, no matter what ballpark you're in, as that one's delivered for strike 1.
I once pitched here and had from the old former IBL Home Run League champion, from Kitchener. Oh, his name escapes me now. Why? He hit it off the barn in right field. Barn's not there anymore, but
no, there's a couple of houses out there. In fact, some fans have kind of lined the fence. That one's fouled off.
Oh, maybe somebody can tell us on the live chat. Who's the ex-Panther who led the IBL in home runs before he was passed by Sean?
Was that Bob?
Not McKillop, no.
No, not McKillop.
I think he passed McKillop.
Well, speaking of home run hitters, just for a moment here, Seth Strong is at the dish. He leads the IBL.
Randy Curran. I could hit bombs.
Yes, he could. That one's taken low and outside. 1 and 2 the count here on Strong.
So far, Martinez is throwing strikes, but he's not having a hard time closing somebody out.
And that's been kind of his trouble, too. I mean, he's a guy that you can rely on to get 8, 9, 10 as that one's put up high, deep to left field, all the way back at the fence, and the catch is made right on the warning track by Spencer Voisin, trying to get the guy at second, but they're not going to do it.
That ball carried. This park is notorious for, I don't know, there's some sort of jet stream up there. That ball just kept going and going, and that was a leaner hit. It wasn't as if he teed off on it. That was a leaner, and it still carried.
It's the way this ballpark rolls, and the flag at dead center, not really waving all that much either, so you can't really credit the wind for carrying it either.
So
Maybe the air's thinner.
I'm going to call those 3 softies.
Yeah.
3 softies, bases loaded now.
Oh, it's second and third, actually.
Oh, second and third?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blocked out here.
You are. Robert Mackey
I feel like I'm at old Cleveland Municipal Stadium here. I got an obstruction.
Well, it's like getting the old 317 section in Scotiabank Arena. You're only going to be able to watch the scoreboard 9 times out of 10.
Fair enough. Thanks for the correction.
So Mackey, the third baseman, taking on Martinez here. And he's going to get hit right in the side. So now the bases are loaded. And that, in fact, is hit by pitch number 32 on the year. So Kitchener, one of the worst teams in the IBL. In fact, Kitchener and Chatham-Kent coming into tonight, both were tied at 31 hit by pitches by the pitcher.
So the infield corners are in.
Yeah.
Middle infield's playing back for the double play.
And just the one out here for Braxton Haggis, the left fielder. The delivery swing, and it sounded like he got a small piece of it, but that's strike one. Let's go. Go up. Let's go defense for Kitchener. So the defense here for Kitchener tonight, just so you have it on the screen here. Voisin, Jacqueline, and Jarvis out from left to right. Parsons, Gonzalez, Ross, and Grinberg working your infield. And Junior Ibarra, of course, in behind the plate, catching Yadi and Martinez. Bases loaded, 1-1 the count here on Haggis. Mackey literally right behind Grinberg, as that one's going to be fouled off.
Well, they're not barreling up on him yet, meaning they're not hitting him square, but just enough to cause some grief.
And just to get back to the point of just Martinez and just the way he does pitch, yes, you're going to get 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 strikeouts out of him, but more often than not, he's also getting hit quite a bit. Something that he really does want to cut down on. That one, that's a frame job and a half by Junior Ibarra, but not getting the call. Nick Leffler, your home plate umpire tonight. Steve Knights is over at first. Chris Long is the crew chief. He is out on third base, although just in between third and second.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
in what they call that P4 right now.
And that one's down low. Full count with the bases loaded now. What's the approach here with the bases loaded with a full count here? What do you do?
It's full count, or is it 2-2? Full count. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, are you talking about a pitcher or as a hitter?
I would say as a hitter.
Well, the advantage goes to the hitter by far.
That one's sent up high.
All he's got to do is put that somewhere.
And that one's going to be high.
That's a world-class play right there.
That is Raul Gonzalez getting over there, going a couple of kilometers to track that ball down.
That's a Canadian baseball term right there.
Yes, indeed. Hey, it's all about metric here.
Yeah.
So we love our American friends, but
well, yeah, and
metric system here in Canada.
Go back to your point too. Okay, so you had bases loaded, full count. So the advantage is the hitter there. But what Martinez needs at that point is exactly what Gonzalez gave him, which is you got to be a playmaker at that point. You got to make a play, and don't let that thing drop. Because often what happens is that you let that foul ball drop to come by, just the way the baseball gods work. Then he hits something hard right after.
Anthony Polowick, the second baseman, now in the batter's box, as he'll watch that one go just outside for
that was a groovy
ball
pitch.
one. That was a very groovy pitch.
Guess he's not giving that corner, I guess. Not at the moment.
So Polowick, again, another player in his rookie season in the IBL. The delivery, that one down low, 2-0. Polowick studying automotive and vehicle engineering technology at McMaster University.
There you go. If I'd known that, I could have gotten to maybe change my up between innings.
Right. You'll learn quite a few things in the IBL from these players. You got taxmen, you got engineers.
Oh, don't say taxman.
That one is chopped in the infield. Grab there by Grinberg over the first, and that will do it here for the first. So they don't get any runners across. It remains no score as we head to the bottom of the first. Stay with us. This is Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube and 98.5 CKWR.
What can you do with a rendezvous? When your business needs a meeting space on demand, SwiftSpace has the solution. Introducing the Rendezvous Meeting Booth, a comfy booth for 6 that assembles in an instant. Fold it, store it, or move it to another room. The Rendezvous assembles in 2 minutes with no tools. The Rendezvous Meeting Booth by SwiftSpace, designed with the future in mind.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth. Let's take a look at the starting nine for the Kitchener Panthers. Of course, this Kitchener Panthers starting lineup is brought to you by Ethel's Lounge in Waterloo. As you see there on the screen, for those watching on YouTube, Jet Jarvis is now taking up that spot up at the top of the order. Usually see him in that faux 9 position. Spencer Ross has kind of taken that position. We'll get more into that as this game goes along. He's been red hot lately, but Jet Jarvis in right, Blake Jacqueline at center, Raul Gonzalez, Nick Parsons, Junior Ibarra, Tyler Henriquez, Simon Grinberg, Spencer Voisin, and Spencer Ross. That is your 1 through 9 for the Kitchener Panthers, taking on Eric Pettipies. As that one's set up high. Playable for the left fielder here, and that'll be caught by Braxton Haggoth. So 1 pitch, 1 down. So on Eric Pettipies, in his first year in the IBL, he's making his 5th appearance on the year, his 4th start. He's got a 4.02 ERA, has gone through 15 2/3, has only struck out 10 in his appearances and walked 7. So not really a strikeout kind of pitcher, but has gone through and has done a little bit of a job here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers when he is making his starts.
Yeah, the velocity looks average, so of course he's going to be a contact pitcher with that.
So that one goes.
Going to have to be a nibbler.
Yep. Hey, sometimes
nothing wrong with being a nibbler.
Sometimes you throw for heat. Sometimes you can get those nibbles. It was the 1-1 to Blake Jacqueline. Fukuda keeps in front of him. Of course, Pettipies, his last start, he went through 5 1/3 against Welland last Sunday. 5 hits, only the 1 earned run. Struck out 4, walked 3.
Not a bad outing.
Man, it was only a 4-3 game, too. So,
well, he gave them what they needed.
Yep. Well, in that one there, Chatham actually had the lead as that one goes upstairs, right around the arms, 2-1. So Chatham actually had the lead. They had a 3-run 4th inning in that game. Welland scored 2 in the 9th to take the lead and actually ended up winning that game.
Oh, on a walk-off?
No, it was the top half of the inning where they scored.
Oh, they were visiting.
Yeah. So that one sent down the line and well foul. So that'll put the count at 3-2 here on Blake Jacqueline.
Everybody, tap your hands.
And again, Jacqueline's been one of those guys that have been staying hot, and that's been kind of the key here for the Panthers. The bats, they just continue to be as hot as they have been, but they're starting to get the pitching the last couple of games, and that has turned some losses into some victories as that one goes well outside for ball 4. Fukuda tried to frame it, but base on balls for Blake Jacqueline.
Number 18, Raul Gonzalez.
But the thing is, you look at what they have been able to do. So for Blake Jacqueline, for example, went 3 for 5 in the game last night against Toronto. Actually extended his hitting streak to 6 games. So
well, it starts with a mental approach. When I looked at the stats today for the Panthers, well, and relative to the league. So the average in the league is 270, and the Panthers are averaging 234. So they're hitting below league average, and unfortunately they're at the bottom of the batting average for the league. But that becomes, if you want to change that, it has to start with an approach, a mental approach. And it starts by trying to put things back up the middle, try not to do more than what's being thrown at you. So if they're going to throw a ball in the outside half, don't try and pull it. Make sure you're hitting strikes, just like Jacqueline was doing. Don't swing at the pitcher's pit.
An 0-2 count here on Gonzalez. That one's well outside. 1-2.
So if you have the right mental approach, then your numbers start creeping.
Mm-hmm.
And you have unfortunately, it's like your bank account. It's easier to deplete it than it is to grow it.
You could say that again. That one.
So you
well
have a couple bad swings, and all of a sudden you're taking a hit on the batting average. So it's a mental approach. You got to commit to it, and then use the biggest part of the field, trying to hit it back up the middle.
And definitely, it's tough to find the biggest part of this field because it is so small. Jacqueline takes the lead here. 2-2 here to Raul Gonzalez. He
spot.
pumps it high. It goes deep all the way back, and it is gone. Raul Gonzalez with a home run to give the Panthers a 2-0 lead. Patience pays off there for Raul Gonzalez. There,
Yeah, well, he hit that ball right where he was supposed to because that was right where you want it.
Mhm.
And he knew it. He knew it as soon as he hit it.
5th home run of the campaign for Raul Gonzalez. And I think the one thing that we talk about this season, JP, about Gonzalez is you look at the year that he had last year. He was the runner-up for the IBL MVP, came into May this year, had his share of struggles, wasn't exactly getting the hits that he wanted to. He was making contact, but just wasn't getting the results out of it. And I feel over the last maybe 3 or so weeks, finally those results are starting to turn into his favor, and his average has really benefited from that. And it has really jumped up to a point where it is at now. It's at a 282.
Oh, and 282 is respectable.
Nick Parsons.
Well, again, that's, committing to something.
Yeah.
Right? Rather than trying to find a quick fix or going up to the plate with basically no plan.
Was knocked down the line foul by Parsons, the third baseman.
So you got to plan. Then things start to turn around like you're talking about, Mark. Then you start to gain confidence. Confidence is a fickle thing. Confidence comes from working hard and getting the payoff. Not just the results, it's in the work.
One's taken down low and inside on Parsons, 2-2.
So my take on Petipus at the moment is that he is a little bit of a Picasso. He's going to have to paint some corners.
Trying to paint some corners at least. Tried to paint that one inside the last pitch. Really waiting on this one here, too.
He's waiting for this batter to call time is what he's doing. Wow.
That one well outside. And that right
I
there,
could have read a short novella in that time.
You could see Parsons just smiling. Just saying, okay, where's the pitch? The 3-2, and that one's going to be set through the hole and into center field, a base hit.
Yeah, he's getting a little too much of the plate at the moment.
Catcher number 48.
So, from what you saw there from that last at bat, and particularly that delay, what is your policy on the pitch clock?
Okay, so
Or at the same
I'm not
time,
particularly a fan of having to regulate pace, but I mean I understand the pitch clock. I'm not a huge fan of it only because I think you don't need to make a rule about pace. It's a respect thing. Now, in that particular case, if I'm hitting or if I'm instructing a hitter, don't stand there that long. Because the way the brain operates is that it wants to pick up information. So the longer you're standing there, it's going to start seeing more things. So you're going to see the center fielder. You might see a car driving rather than being focused on the pitcher. I would have stepped out and then reset that clock or whatever you're allowed to do, not do.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have the pitch clock yet, so
no, we do not.
I'm a fan of old school that way.
Ibarra knocks that one through. No, they're going to get it, and they're going to
They got him.
They're going to get Parsons over at second. Got a little dirty on that
played
play.
like a game of Twister out there.
I believe so. So Ibarra does get on board. That was on a 2-1 pitch.
Right foot on the red circle and the glove on the white square. Come on, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Designated hitter number 10, Tyler Henriquez.
Tyler Henriquez, the batter here now. The designated hitter for tonight. Henriquez had a pair of hits last night against Toronto. So 2 away, and he takes that one in for strike 1. Right around just below belt level there.
I got to think for a pitcher like Petipus, that first strike is key. It allows him to work off of the rest of his repertoire. But when he's pitching from behind, I don't think he's going to fool anybody.
That one sent up high. This is playable. It's going to go all the way back. That one carried. Marcus will catch it. And that will do it for the inning. So a 2-run home run from Raul Gonzalez puts the Panthers in the lead. It's 2-0 for the home side as we head to the second inning. Stay with us. This is Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube and 98.5 CKWR.
Body Break with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Oh, nice strike. Bowling is just one of many ways to be active, and being active means doing physical activity you like to do daily. Anything from getting out and enjoying a leisurely walk, to flying a kite, skating with the kids, to swimming, playing basketball, to snowshoeing. It's not a competition. It's supposed to be fun, and it is.
When it comes to eating well, you don't have to give up the food you love. That doesn't mean eating cakes and donuts 7 days a week. It means variety and moderation. Because you see, there's no one food or meal that can negatively affect a healthy eating pattern. What matters are the types of foods that you eat on a regular basis over the long run, like bread, cereal, pasta, fruits, and vegetables. Come on, Jude, let's have a strike. And feeling good about yourself starts by accepting who you are and how you look. Healthy, good-looking bodies come in a variety of shapes and sizes, so be proud of yourself.
We've just talked about vitality. It's about how you can enjoy eating well, being active, and feeling good about yourself. Vitality is a simple approach that can work for everyone.
Oh, another gutter ball.
I have to admit, I really enjoy beating Hal. So until next time.
Body Break.
Suki Fukuda, the batter here to start things off here in the second inning. It is Kitchener 2, Chatham-Kent no score. Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. And Fukuda turns on the first pitch he sees and puts it right out to center field for a base hit. One thing that we are noticing here, JP, a lot of contact in the early stages of at bats here, as it seems like the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers are really just trying to, put that pressure on and be a little bit aggressive early in the counts.
Sure. I mean, the one thing as a pitcher, you want to pitch ahead and stay ahead. So you're going to, in the first two pitches, you're going to get a good pitch to hit. Unless that guy's just having a bad, call it pitching at bat, like he's just not on with this guy. But you're going to get, out of the first two pitches, you're going to get something to hit for sure. When a guy's on, then you're only hitting half the baseball. He's putting it in spots that are very difficult to hit. But from what I'm seeing so far, both pitchers are trying to pitch ahead and stay ahead, but they're getting a lot of the plate.
That one right under the
I like
knees.
that one. I would call that you're going to hit the top of the baseball, right? Maybe get a double play out of that. But with hitting the bottom half of the strike zone like that at the knees.
Quickly, the count 0-2. Ibarra sets up outside and tried to get him to swing through, and he actually did get the call. So that's strike 3, and Murciano goes down on strikes. That was kind of more of a rough swing. If
1, 2, 3. Thank you for coming out. Yeah.
Yep. Spencer Morey now steps into the batter's box, number 25, out in right field. As that one goes in for a strike. That was a bit of a Picasso kind of pitch.
Ah, yes. Look at you picking up on the painting mode.
What can I say?
So, Martinez better than I do.
Yes.
What's his pitch? What's his pitching repertoire? He's got a fastball. I've seen a slider.
I've seen him.
Do you know if he's got a change or not?
I've seen him use a change. He's more of an off-speed kind of guy, if anything. He does use the fastball quite a bit. Uses a lot more. He really changes the pace and changes up the speeds quite a bit. That's what he's more known for, from what I have seen. That one's delivered, trying to paint the bottom corner.
Yeah, he's trying to get that corner.
Yep. Yeah, he really focuses on that four seam, but he does the changes with him is more with the speeds of his pitches rather than the actual different pitches that he comes out with.
Okay.
Throw over to first, not in time, and trying to catch Fukuda sleeping there out in first base. But of course, that pitching repertoire, it does have its pros, it does have its cons. As that one right under the knees for a 3-1 count here. Because as mentioned before, you can work that off speed and paint the corners and get your strikeouts, but at the same time too, you're gonna end up surrendering your hits at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately he's trying to get. There it is. Trying to hit him off his front foot.
Over to first in time, so call that a 4-3 put out on Moray, and that'll advance Fukuda over to second.
Top of the order, center fielder number 19, Spencer Marcus.
I already have some fans chiming in about the center field camera, so we're doing a good job.
Those people are making you smile, Mark.
They are. Yes, they are. It ain't going away, folks. I'll tell you that much. Back to the top of the order. That one sent down the line foul down the left field side. Spencer Marcus back in the batter's box with the runner on second base and 2 away. Marcus singled and was stranded over at third back in the last inning. The delivery well outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Of course, Marcus, not only the first signing in franchise history, also an alumnus of Niagara University. He's played in a couple seasons.
Yes.
The old Niagara University.
Well, my oldest son, Tyler, went to Canisius, so that was the rivalry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Inter-city rivalry.
Well, you're in good company. I'm pretty sure half the IBL went to Canisius.
Yeah, they do a lot of recruiting out of Canada.
Yes, they do.
Actually, a lot of the Great Lakes schools recruit out of Canada because, A, we don't mind playing in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
We're used to traveling.
Yep.
To play baseball. And people from Florida don't want to come up to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them.
Blame them. I don't know. Here comes the 1-2 to Marcus. He puts that one right through the hole into center. Circling around the bases is Fukuda, sliding in, play at the plate, and in time as Fukuda will score, make it 2-1.
That ball was one bounce too much. If it had been just a wee bit harder, they would have had him at the plate. That was a good throw.
Number 3, Dan Patel.
So make that an RBI single for Spencer Marcus. It's a 2-1 score.
And ultimately, if you want to win ball games, it's about scoring runs. So scoring runs comes with doing what you need to do when the guys are in scoring position to make it happen. So he's not trying to do too much there. Putting the ball into center field, but I'll tell you that
that's happened.
That throw by Jacqueline was a strong one.
That one, chopper into the infield. It stays. Grinberg will get it over to Yadhin Martinez, and he Gronk spikes the baseball.
Yeah, that's 2 spikes on the PFP, pitcher's fielding practice. Don't read into that more than you need to.
Barnstormers get 1. It's 2-1 Panthers. We'll be back after this. Stay with us. This is Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR.
Viens, Abby. Inzeri.
Téléphone.
Yeah, but you told me that. Okay. I wanted the day off. I knew they wouldn't leave me alone. But I couldn't let the guys down.
night in 1944, Montreal beat Detroit 9-1. Maurice Rocket Richard scored 8 points, 5 goals, 3 assists. A legend was born.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Bottom of the order due up here for the Kitchener Panthers. Let's take a look now at the starting defensive stance here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So as you can see there, Haggith, Marcus, and Moray is from left to right in the outfield. Mackey, Patel, Polowick, and Strong make out your infield from left to right. And Misuki Fukuda is catching the balls and strikes from Eric Pettipies. So Simon Grinberg will start things off here. He's working first base tonight. As he'll take one just in, but paints for strike number 1. And Grinberg's been one of those guys who's you've been able to use him in all kinds of different situations. That one right down Broadway for strike 2.
Every coach loves that. The ability to, with confidence, put somebody wherever you need them.
Yeah, that one's going to be fouled off. Stays alive.
Just like hockey teams need guys that are going to go in the corners and be grinders.
Yep, not
baseball teams need utility guys and guys that don't have that big ego that say, I have to hit in this spot and play that position.
And one of the things is that with Grinberg, he was actually a catcher when he first started with the Panthers organization. Actually did a bit of catching, seen him work a bit in the outfield. So he'll foul that one off into the parking lot. Works mostly in the infield here now, has taken a lot of swings as a DH this season too. Only actually appeared in 4 games last year. Was a NJCAA Division I All-Star in 2022 with Bossier Parish, the Cavaliers. Former Eastern Kentucky commit as well. As he'll send that one over to second. Polowick will take it on the hop and over to first for the 4-3 putouts.
Where do you go to JUCO?
Where did I go?
No, where did he go for JUCO?
So he was Bossier Parish.
Is that when you say parish? Does that mean he's down in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Yeah. My son just graduated out of JUCO, and I was pleasantly surprised at the quality of Division I JUCO baseball.
As that one goes upstairs. And of course, he has advanced since then, as we have Spencer Voisin at the dish here. Just on Grinberg, of course, last season, just this past spring, coming from Kaiser, playing for the Seahawks, as that's a chopper off the foot, I believe. Him and Kenny DiClemente, who plays for the Panthers here, both of them were actually teammates this past spring with Kaiser.
Okay.
Had them come
in. Are they local?
They are local. So Grinberg is from Kitchener.
A Panther product.
That's right. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Of course, will be 27 years of age coming up on September 25th. It's a lot of home run power as well, as he puts that one right over, and a good grab there by Polowick out over at second base.
Second baseman number 5, Spencer Ross.
Now, you want a guy that's been red hot as of late. This is a guy that's really come out of the weeds lately. Spencer Ross. In the month of June, Spencer Ross hit .379, drove in 7 runs. A guy really under the radar, producing a very respectable June.
And is that out of the 9 spot typically?
He more often than not, kind of in the bottom of the order. I've seen him come in as a pinch hitter at times as well, but more so not a guy that's going to be at the top of the lineup. A guy that's more or less you're going to see him in a 6 spot, in a 7 spot.
That makes a huge difference to a team's overall output. If you've got somebody that's
that one is skied.
Solid.
Yeah, it's going to go right
over
to
into his glove, but it was solid. Like, he's not getting cheated on his swings.
Not at all.
But if you can get production out of the bottom, 7, 8, 9. that always spells good for runs scored at the top half.
Absolutely. We'll be back after this. It remains 2-1 Kitchener as we head to the third. This is 98.5 CKWR and Kitchener Panthers on YouTube.
After 2 complete.
So you'll be fighting in France tomorrow, huh? Well, good luck, Captain Colvin. No one you can be sure will take very good care of the bear. You are noting that it's the official mascot of the 2nd Canadian Infantry Brigade?
Yes, sir.
So long, Winnie. You be a good girl while I'm gone.
Why Winnie, sir?
From my hometown, Winnipeg.
Oh, Daddy, I just love Winnie. Couldn't we take him home with us?
Christopher Robin, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll write some stories about Winnie, and Mr. Shepherd here will draw some pictures.
Oh, Daddy, let's call him Winnie the Pooh.
Why Pooh, son?
I don't know, just Winnie the Pooh.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Mark Pare and JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth at Jack Couch Park. It's 2-1 Panthers here in the top of the third. Seth Strong at the dish, and he will take the first pitch right on the inside of the butt cheek for a hit by pitch.
I actually am more disappointed than Strong is. I wanted to see that matchup.
Number 7.
Power on power.
I think there's a lot of people, especially in Barnstormer land, that are a little disappointed in that as well.
Well, I think what happens, you come into a game with a little bit of reputation, right? So they're going to pitch him a little more finite.
The delivery, chopper down the third base line, foul. So Robert Mackey was hit by a pitch his last time up. The delivery on the 0-1, that one just missing on the outside edge for a ball. Now the Panda's been doing all right this season over at first base. Seth Strong. The delivery, swing, kind of more of a half excuse me kind of swing there from Mackey for strike 2.
Yeah, he had a brain hiccup there, deciding that he didn't want to swing or he had already committed.
He's having a heck of a year, batting .327 coming into tonight. And there's a swing and a miss.
That's the same swing. Interesting.
Now, is that more of just a lack of a confidence issue from him, or just more of he's not reading the ball correctly off of Martinez?
Like that's reacting to the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
What you should be doing is saying that every pitch is hittable and deciding to say no when it's on its way rather than saying yes when it's on its way. That was a swing that you're saying yes as it's coming rather than saying yes, no, I don't want to hit that one. The brain can't function that quick.
No, it cannot.
And to hit it solid.
That's why they say it's the hardest thing to do in sports is hitting a baseball.
Hitting a round moving object with another round moving object and hitting it square with the sweet spot of a dime.
Not too many people can do that. It's a tough sport to play. Braxton Hageth in the batter's box here, facing an 0-1 count. Took the first pitch on the outside corner. And somebody's going to call for time there. I think it was actually Hageth there. Strong takes his lead. And good pitch there for strike number 2. Kind of right at the knees there.
He's got some nice arm side run. Like arm side run means that the ball's running away from the hitter or running away on the arm side. So in the case of the left-handed hitter, it's running away from the hitter. So it makes it a lot tougher to hit because we're just talking about squaring up on a ball.
And they're not going to get the runner at second base. It was a kind of a strike him out, throw him out situation there. Haggett strikes out. The throw immediately from Junior Ibarra as Seth Strong was advancing over to second base, not in time. So give Seth Strong the stolen base, but there's 2 outs here in the third.
Yeah, I couldn't tell because I'm a little blocked out here from first base, but I'm not sure if that was a delayed steal or not. But
I didn't really pick up Seth on the pitch, actually.
yeah, it might have been a delayed steal.
So Anthony Polowick now in the batter's box. He'll take one just inside, just missing for ball 1. And yeah, it's just it's something to believe when you can actually have that delayed start and still get a stolen base on a guy like Junior, who is one of the best defensive catchers in this league, if not the best, as that one's under the knees for a 2-0 count.
Yeah, you're still delayed steal. You're stealing it on the catcher. The catcher's you've been watching a pattern to see whether or not they're paying attention, and you're hoping that they're not paying attention to you.
That was well inside, 3-0. Well, I can tell you, Junior more often than not is paying attention. That's a guy that is
I'm not
walked
saying he's
into a
not,
game.
but then you got the distraction of the swinging batter.
This is true.
So I'm just saying that's you're really trying to use deception in a delayed steal more so than just Ricky Henderson straight speed.
Absolutely. That was a great pitch painting the edge on the inside on Polowick for strike 1. So it's a 3-1 count with 2 away here for Martinez. It's a pair of strikeouts here in this inning. And there's a strike to make it a full count. And if you're Martinez, again, you go down 3-0 there and you're able to put 2 right in the strike zone.
Yeah, he's looking forward to maybe the punch out here, the affectionate term for a strikeout.
Look over at Strong, takes a bit of a lead. The delivery, and that one's put up high and down the line, foul. It landed almost in the soccer field over the other way to our left. Of course, here in the big complex, got a soccer field, got a running track, got the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium in behind us.
A little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything here in this complex.
Which is what Martinez is having to throw to him now.
That one's going to be set foul, pretty much the same distance in the same area for that ball.
Now, if Martinez has a little extra gas in the tank here, this is the time to elevate one or put one in by the hands.
Gets the sign, the delivery, that one.
Right in on the hands.
Absolutely. Right to Gonzalez, over to first and in time. So they'll get the outs. Only the hit by pitch put the runner on base. It remains 2-1 Kitchener as we head to the bottom of the third. Stay with us. This is Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube. 98.5 CKWR.
And he can lift anything. Anything at all. He's that strong.
Joe Schuster, will you stop it or you'll miss your train? Now help me find number 5.
Strong, but by day he's a mild-mannered reporter. Glasses, a secret identity.
Honestly, you Canadian kids.
He'd be in this cape.
A what?
A cape, wearing these blue tights.
A hero in tights, really. Here it is.
Listen, Lois, this guy is faster than anything, I swear.
If you're not fast, you're gonna miss your train.
That's it. A bullet. He's faster. No, he's faster than a speeding bullet.
Come on, get on it. No one's gonna read a comic strip about a strong man in tights, Joe. It'll never fly.
Fly, no. But he can leap over tall buildings. Oh, wow, yeah.
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
Wait, Lois. I've got something for you. Take it. It's a gift. You never know. It might be worth something someday. Is he great or what? Bye-bye, Lois.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube and 98.5 CKWR. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the booth. You said you didn't have a first or last name. I'm giving you your first and last name.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's 2-1 Panthers as we head to the bottom half of the third. We're heading to the top of the order here for the Panthers. Jarvis, Jacqueline, and Gonzalez due up here for the home side. And been quite an entertaining ball game here so far. And the pitchers are putting on a bit of a show as, we got a few strikeouts from Yadi and Martinez, and we were just talking through the break, well, you were, about Eric Pettipies and just his delivery here so far in this game.
Well, I look at him and he's more of a slinger, like he's coming from a 3/4 arm slot, which means the fingers are going to be on the side of the baseball versus being on top of it on his fastball. And in doing that, as he starts to get tired, you can look at balls going east and west of the plate versus north and south on more of an over the top type of pitcher.
Good bunt there by Jet Jarvis, and they don't have a play. We have seen that from Jet Jarvis a number of times this season, dropping the bunt down the third baseline. It went into the infield, and he just runs down the first baseline and catches everybody off guard, and the lead batter is aboard.
Whenever we did bunting practice, we would put a little circle there, and you get a prize if you put it in the circle, almost like lawn darts. That would have won a prize.
That was beautiful. The execution, 10 out of 10 for Jet Jarvis there.
Because that bunt there draws 3 people in.
Throw over to first, not in time.
That'll be his... a left-handed pitcher who has some moves, there'll be an A and a B and a C move. The C move being just going to, taking a look at him. That was kind of quick. Real close to saying, did he pause or not? And then that was a B move. And then the A move will be something that he thinks that he can pick him off with. I have a feeling he's going to try and show his A move somewhere in this at bat if it goes long enough.
So it's a 1-0 here on Blake Jacqueline as he takes one upstairs. 2-0. Had squared up to bunt on the first delivery to the plate, but held off. And again, that's something that we have seen, particularly from Jacqueline and Jarvis since their arrival in 2021. Not afraid to square up and bunt that baseball down the line because they know they have the speed. Pettipies.
There we go.
Yep.
I like his patience. I like Jacqueline's patience. He's calm at the plate. Maybe there's turmoil going on inside his head, but he certainly doesn't show it. He's very calm. Same thing with the last at bat.
Definitely a lot more going on than what's inside my head. I have the monkey with the symbol going.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Mark.
Throw over to first again. Not in time. No, the monkey's wearing a hat, actually.
Monkeys have feelings, too.
Yes, they do. Hey, we evolved from monkeys.
That's a sizable lead.
Yes, indeed. That one is going to be right in there for strike number 1.
You're kind of setting your kid up to be quick, aren't you, when you call him Jet?
Well, I would like to think that they were thinking of the alliteration. Here comes the 2-1. Pettipies really patient there as that one's going to be fouled off.
Yeah, I played with a couple of players that had the same name, which was piano on their back. Yeah. Not too many quick ones.
Not too many.
When somebody's fast, though, man, it's upsetting. When you're pitching, it's very upsetting when you know somebody's that fast.
When they're prone to steal some bases or two, that's for sure. A couple extra looks over and swing and a miss there for strike 3, and Jacqueline goes down 1 away.
He got fooled on that. That's nothing more than just getting fooled. Yeah, I mean, if you have a speedy base runner at first, it's just disrupting. You can't just focus on the hitter because you know that you want to give your catcher a chance. And it's just enough sometimes that it gives the hitter the opportunity to see a really good pitch.
Swing and a miss. That had a home run cut to it from Raul Gonzalez. Strike 1. He wanted to put that one on the Highway 7. Of course, hit a home run his last time up. It was a 2-run shot, the only 2 runs on the board for the Panthers. Delivery right at the knees for strike 2.
Pettipies has found a little groove here.
Yes, he has.
I have a feeling when he's in that groove, he's hitting that outside corner like that last pitch right there.
Delivery, that one is put up high. Running toward it is Polowick, and he'll run over to make the catch in shallow right field, and Jarvis will move back over to first, and there's 2 away, just like that.
Third baseman number 88, Nick Parsons.
So Nick Parsons, the batter now. We were talking about hit by pitches and, wanting to see what a guy's got in terms of the power. Nick Parsons has a lot of power, hit a lot of home runs in his college days earlier this spring. Has hit a few home runs in this ballpark this season as well. But there was one particular game where he was hit by a pitch not once, not twice, but thrice.
Thrice?
But thrice.
Are you an English major?
Yes.
Wow.
That one's not.
I didn't have to worry about that one. There's no thrice in that one.
Not at all. Base hit there for Nick Parsons, advancing Jarvis over to second.
Yeah, you got to feel like if you're getting hit 3 times in a game that maybe there's some. I'm not sure it's a statement, but you're starting to feel like maybe you're a target.
Catcher number 48.
So that actually came back. I'll have to go back into my sheets here. It was at this ballpark.
I'm not sure there's enough ice packs for the same guy.
No. I think all the ice melted by then. But it was fairly recently. But just what a poor guy in that game. But he's been hitting the ball pretty well here.
Well, didn't affect him on the last hit.
Not at all. Junior Ibarra now the batter. He reached on a fielder's choices last time up.
I'm a little old school. I grew up with the Don Larson methodology of pitching. So
in fact, that game where he was hit by a pitch 3 times came against Chatham-Kent. That was on the May 30th game. So the count here at 1-1.
Okay, now I'm going to test you, Mark.
All right.
Was it the same pitcher?
No, it was not. I believe it was actually Aiden Ryan that was in that game. Yeah, it was Aiden Ryan. In fact, he hit him twice. There's a strike on Ibarra. It's a 1-2 count here. Yeah, he was hit by a pitch twice by Aiden Ryan. Then he was hit in the 5th inning. That was on Brock. That was against Brock Whitson.
Brock thrice Whitson?
Brock thrice Whitson. See, now that's going to be in your vocabulary forever.
Yeah, it's locked in. It's the word of the day.
You're welcome. The 1-2, that one under the knees. 2-2 here on Ibarra.
Had a piece wanted that one. Kind of that Jimmy Key backdoor curve he was looking for. Some guys will call that. I don't think this particular home plate umpire is going to call that backdoor curve. He's pretty that strike zone's pretty crisp.
Yes, it is. Junior hitting .500 in the last 2 games as he's going to put that one into center field. A base hit. Swinging around third. Here comes a play at the plate. Jarvis comes in and he is safe as he loses the ball, does the catcher. And over to third goes Parsons.
Yeah, that's a bang play for Fukuda.
So
that's an easy way to separate a shoulder on that. 'Cause when it's bang like that, he's got to make that sweep and tag with the new no contact type. Can't block out the base.
Yeah.
So then you end up. The thing is, they're trying to save the catcher with that. Give the base runner their opportunity to score, whatever. But then it opens up injuries to the shoulder, the labrum, because now you're having to sweep across.
Yep.
You're opening up this weak side. That's exactly what happened here.
So now they're just having a conversation with Fukuda to see if he's all right. Let me tell you, a guy that has had shoulder injuries, it's not the greatest.
No, and they're nagging.
They're
right?
nagging and they stick around. So about 10 years ago, I separated my shoulder on a play. It popped right back in right afterward. The doctor was right there on the scene watching the soccer game, in fact, as I landed on it. And immediately he knew just the way I had reacted that, hey, it popped out of the socket and popped right back in. And there's nothing you can do that except manage the pain. And the pain sticks with you. It stuck with me for about 2 months. You can't sleep on that side.
Right.
It's a
It
royal pain in the
affects your
butt.
sleep. It affects a lot of.
It does.
Yeah, shoulder injuries are interesting because it's hard to rest them because you need to do things during the day or whatever.
And for athletes, you're just wanting to get back into the game. And, for myself, I was itching to get back in for so long. And even though it's a running kind of sport, it still affects
use your shoulders in the running. No
Oh,
question.
absolutely.
Yeah. So then it affects your play, affects how you run. Then the part of every injury is the mental side of the injury. Then you start thinking about it when you normally wouldn't. I often see that in baseball injuries coming back and how it affects performance.
Tyler Henriquez, the batter, he knocks that one down the third base line. It goes just foul. So there's runners on second and third. Ibarra was credited with the single, but he does advance to second base on the throw to home. Parsons is on third. Of course, Jarvis came in to score. It's 3-1 Panthers here in the bottom of the third with 2 away. Of course, Parsons, going back to that hit by a pitch conversation, has been hit by a pitch 7 times this season.
Oh, he's like the Rusty Staub of the IBL.
Yes, indeed.
Do you know who Rusty Staub was?
I remember Rusty Staub, but I can't place him.
He played for the Expos at one point.
Yes.
But I believe he holds the major league record for most hit by pitch.
There's a big swing and a miss for strike 3 as Henriquez goes down, but an RBI single for Junior Ibarra puts the Panthers up 3-1 as we head to the fourth. Stay with us. This is Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR.
Body Break with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Oh, nice strike. Bowling is just one of many ways to be active, and being active means doing physical activity you like to do daily.
Anything from getting out and enjoying a leisurely walk, to flying a kite, skating with the kids, to swimming, playing basketball, to snowshoeing.
It's not a competition. It's supposed to be fun, and it is.
When it comes to eating well, you don't have to give up the food you love. That doesn't mean eating cakes and donuts 7 days a week. It means variety and moderation. Because you see, there's no one food or meal that can negatively affect a healthy eating pattern. What matters are the types of foods that you eat on a regular basis over the long run, like bread, cereal, pasta, fruits, and vegetables. Come on, Jude, let's have a strike. And feeling good about yourself starts by accepting who you are and how you look. Healthy, good-looking bodies come in a variety of shapes and sizes, so be proud of yourself.
We've just talked about vitality. It's about how you can enjoy eating well, being active, and feeling good about yourself. Vitality is a simple approach that can work for everyone.
Oh, another gutter ball.
I have to admit, I really enjoy beating Hal. So until next time.
Body Break.
Number 45, Mitsuki Fukuda.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Mitsuki Fukuda in the batter's box here for Chatham-Kent. Bottom of the order due up for the Barnstormers. Mark Pare, J.P. Soucie. And again, just to go back to that last inning, and you were talking about shoulders and whatnot in that conversation. Now you're seeing Fukuda here at bat. Does this change his approach after that?
Well, I think what will happen is that on his first swing, it's one thing to warm up and feel like, oh, there's maybe something there. But if he takes a full hack and misses and it feels something tug, then we'll know.
That one's knocked down the line, foul.
And he looks like he's fine.
So it's a 2-1 count.
Catchers are tough dudes.
Yes, they are. Catchers, hockey goaltenders, lacrosse goaltenders.
Yeah, there's something just a little missing with them.
That one's put up high and out of play.
I don't know how many times I've run across a catcher who was also a goalie. That just tells me that there's something there, that they enjoy being the last line of defense and having projectiles hit at them.
Well, that projectile is going to go over to Gonzalez, rolling on the ground over to first and in time. So
Nice
they'll
pick.
get Fukuda on the 5-3. Out of town scoreboard, there are 3 games happening in the IBL this Thursday night. Bottom of the 4th, it is Welland 5, Brantford no score. That one in the bottom of the 4th. And in the top of the 4th in Barrie, it is the Baycats no score, the Maple Leafs no score. Your Red Sox in a bit of a jam there against the league's top team, as that one's going to go inside on Noah Murciano for ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're trying to scrape your way up the ladder in the standings, and you're playing against a solid team that's playing with full confidence on all cylinders and solid 1 through 9. You know you're in tough on the drive to the ballpark.
Swing and a miss for strike 1 by Murciano. And you'll look at the standings, of course. Welland 15-4, had a 12-game winning streak snapped recently on Canada Day to Hamilton, as that one goes outside, 3-1. And you look at the rest of the standings too. London, Barrie, Guelph within about a couple of games of each other. Hamilton's in that conversation too. Brantford, Chatham-Kent, Toronto, and Kitchener kind of separated by a few games, as that one's put up high and deep to center field, and it goes over the head of Jacqueline. Into second base will go Murciano on the stand-up double.
Yeah, Jacqueline got twisted up. The wind. I mean, it's off a left-handed at bat, which means the natural spin is going to go from right center into left. Into center, right to center, and then he got himself twisted up. So he had turned to his left to track the ball. What he should have done is swiveled the hips. As soon as he started reading the spin off the ball, and you can do that almost in full speed. Then you practice that, and I'm sure he has. He just got fooled up on the spin, but he took off to his left and stays left when he should have swiveled and pivoted on his hips and make that catch over his right shoulder instead of trying to make it over his left.
Spencer Moore now in the batter's box off of that double from Murciano. So runner in scoring position, swing and a miss for strike 1. For Chatham-Kent, with runners in scoring position, they're hitting .281 on the season, 5 home runs to their credit. Kitchener, meantime, their pitchers, of course, giving up .329 average with 13 home runs with runners in scoring position, as that one goes right at the knees for strike 2.
That statistic stands out.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And very specifically there, too, with runners on base in general for the Panthers, their pitchers have given up 20 home runs. And that has been a big difference in some recent ball games, in fact, as that one gets past Martinez and into center field. Running around third, thought the stop sign was going to get put on, but getting in, standing up is Murciano, and sliding in safely to second base is Spencer Moray. So make it 3-2 here in the 4th.
Top of the order, center fielder number 19, Spencer Marcus.
Seesaw battle here.
Yes, and you got to love it here on a Thursday. Just 2 teams. It's a low-scoring affair here so far. Not that I'm jinxing it or anything.
Well, there you go. You jinxed it.
I did. But who's going to be the one that takes the bull by the horns, if you will, as that one's fouled off of Marcus's foot?
Well, it's always an advantage to be the home team in a seesaw battle. That way you get the last kick at the can, of course, for the small town heroics and a walk-off win potentially. But that's usually what you get in a seesaw battle, unless at some point either Martinez or Petipus settle in and throw some shutdown innings.
Well, that's what they need here. Delivery, that one just missing on the outside edge. So a 1-1 count here. Martinez getting an extra look over at Moray. Just the one out here in the 4th. The delivery, swing and a miss. for strike 2 on Spencer Marcus. 2 for 2 here tonight. Pair of singles to his credit. Hitting .368 on the year, pair of home runs. It's 5 doubles as well. That one right on the outside edge, and they'll get the strikeout. A delayed call there from home plate umpire Nick Leffler, and that is strike 3, and that is strikeout number 4 on the evening for Yadier Martinez. So this will bring up Dan Battelle. Shortstop, 1 for 2 tonight. Couple of looks over at second base. That one's well inside, 1-0. Now, when you see a delayed strike 3 call there, I mean, you've been behind the dish more than myself. Is that just more of the home plate umpire just kind of processing, trying to think of, okay, was that indeed a strike? Just doing that extra processing to make sure the call is right?
Well, a lot of umpires are trained to just give a slight pause before they will pull the trigger on a strike.
Okay.
And it does give the brain a moment to confirm in your own mind that indeed was it. Sometimes you will see in a game that they give the body expression that they're about to call something, and then they go, no. And so that's their brain pausing for a moment and saying, no, that's not the right call.
The delivery swing and a miss. There's a strike 1 on Dan Battelle. And I only ask that because there are a lot of people that, obviously, there's a lot of people that watch this and even listen to this as well that, don't have the benefit of being out there on the field and actually being in games like that and calling these games. So getting that insight is definitely something that's definitely valuable for the listener and the viewer as well.
You'll notice too that umpires will use their hands to help them do that. Often what they do, and you'll see what's the home plate umpire's name?
This is Nick Leffler.
Nick Leffler. You watch how he uses his hands. He's not only doing it for protection, to protect his hands on the pitch, but he's also tucking them. And you'll watch, he'll tuck them. He's got the pause, and then he's going to tuck them in behind. But what that does is it allows you then to, when you want to make a call, you can just grab your leg or push against your legs as that slight pause, and then make your call.
Okay. It's good to know. So it's a 2-2 count here on Battelle with 2 away. Runner on second. Martinez with the pitch. That one's knocked down the right field side. Foul. Goes down the line. Remains 3-2 Kitchener. Here in the top of the 4th. Glad you can join us. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth at Jack Couch Park. Glad you can join us. Of course, the Panthers will be back in action on Sunday. It is going to be a double dip dog day in the park as we'll get back to the field here as that'll turn into a 4-3 ground out. Some soft contact by Battelle. Knocked it over to Ross. Over to first it goes for the 4-3 put out to wrap up the top of the 4th. It remains 3-2 Kitchener. We'll be back after this.
It's a new season of baseball, and with that comes new merchandise in the Jack Couch Park merchandise tent and online store. Make sure to check out our huge selection of new wearables to cheer on your team.
The solution.
We have replica jerseys, jackets, pullovers, hats, scarves, and blankets for those chilly
that assembles in an instant.
Our shops have all different sizes
or move it to another room.
And we will
the
try our best to
Rendezvous
fit
assembles
you
in
with
2
Panthers
minutes with no
authorized
tools.
stores.
The
Make sure to
Rendezvous
check us out
meeting
at our
booth by
merchandise
Swiftspace,
tent at the front
designed
gate when
with
you
the
enter
future
the
in
park,
mind.
or visit our shop online at KitchenerPanthers.com and click on shop. We want our fans to wear our gear proud and loud and cheer on your Panthers.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Bottom of the order due up here in the bottom of the fourth for the Kitchener Panthers, who have a 3-2 lead on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the booth. Simon Grinberg will lead things off. He's 0 for 1 here tonight. And Pettipace, the left-handed hurler, remains on the hill, and again, he's doing a phenomenal job here so far for the Barnstormers, despite the 3 runs he has given up.
Yeah, there was. I would say his first 2 innings, he's trying to settle in. He caught too much of the plate. The last inning, he actually was throwing quality strikes.
One's well outside for ball 1. And that one's going to be put up high into right field, and just in front of the warning track is Spencer Moray. He'll make the catch, just the 1 out, just like that.
Left fielder number 16, Spencer Boysen.
Of course, 132 people on the YouTube page right now watching this game. We thank each and every one of you for tuning in. A couple of them were actually guessing.
Not my mom.
Hey, maybe.
No. But
Randy Curran, someone was actually guessing Randy Curran.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
That guy could hit mammoth shots. I have a Randy Curran story, other than the barn shot. I've only faced him twice. He hit 2 home runs off me. The first one happened when we were trying out for Team Ontario down at in Cambridge at Dixon Park.
Oh, okay.
We're 18, 19 years old, something like that. And John Upham is the manager.
That one's outside. 2-1 here on Spencer.
John Upham was a seriously old school guy. And so I showed up. I grew up in Oakville, so I'm an invitee for Team Ontario out of Oakville. And I show up, and I just had these brand new white shoes that were red, white, and blue.
That one's put up high. Shallow right field. It's going to be caught there by Polowick, 2 away.
And they were beautiful Pumas. I had them all striped and matched my uniform. And he looked at me and said, "Son, you're not stepping on that field with those shoes."
Oh, no.
I said, "What? I just bought them." He goes, "I don't care. Go buy another pair. I don't care. You're not stepping on here with white shoes."
Okay.
So I had to go. I go down to 97 Sports. I got like $14 in my pocket. I had to find some black pair of shoes.
That one's going to go in for a strike on Spencer Ross.
I make it back in time. Then they're doing. I alluded to it earlier. They start off with PFPs, pitchers fielding practice.
Yeah.
So, covering first base. I want to show off. I want to try and show them. Okay, I didn't have the right shoes, but you're going to see that I'm super energetic and I want to be here. So I go first.
Mm-hmm.
So this was one of the most humiliating moments of my life, which for me,
that one's going to be put into right field, and the catch is made by Spencer Moray. We're going to get more to that story.
Oh, there's plenty more.
There's plenty more. We got plenty of action still to come here on Kitchener Panthers baseball. It remains 3-2 Kitchener as we head to the 5th. Don't go anywhere. We got lots more upcoming.
Buddy Break with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
These are Nova Scotia Duck Toy Retrievers, one of the few truly Canadian breeds. And boy, do they enjoy being active.
And we love seeing them looking and feeling good. Not only does it come from being active, but also from a healthy, well-balanced diet. The calories a dog needs for energy come from carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And it's the right amount of each, in combination with properly balanced vitamins and minerals, that will provide a healthy diet.
You may think you're doing your best friend a favor by feeding it high-fat treats or table scraps. However, this may upset the nutritional balance of a dog's diet and may cause obesity. In fact, obesity is the most common nutrition-related health concern facing dogs today.
The simplest way to ensure that your dog gets the right balance of calories and nutrients in their proper proportions is to use the right amount of a quality commercial pet food. Along with a bowl of clean fresh water, this is the only food a dog needs. Of course, your pet needs daily exercise. How much will be influenced by its breed.
And affection goes a long way to making your dog feel good. You know, there's a lot of similarities between your pet and yourself.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. A panda has arrived into the batter's box. That's Seth Strong, who is 0 for 1 here tonight. Top of the fifth here at Jack Couch Park. It's 3-2 Kitchener over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. The delivery, swing and a miss by Strong.
Oh, I know why he's got 10 home runs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hefty hack. Do we understand? Do we know why he's called the Panda?
I haven't actually found out. Those in the chat, most of you are Chatham-Kent Barnstormers fans. Let us know. Why is he called the Panda? As he faces a 1-1 count here.
Is it a bamboo bat?
I think it's the hair.
Does he sleep most of the day? Like, what is it?
Well, outside, too.
The hair?
I think it's the hair.
Or he's just affable and lovable looking. I'm sure his mom would say that.
Hey, his mom might be actually in the chat tonight. The 2-1. That one just under the knees.
So you want me to go on with my story?
Let's go on with the story, yes. Actually, and just for the record, Lori Strong is in the chat.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have to find out
we
that
say hello
story.
to his mom.
The 3-1, that one's put into center field and on the run, nabbed there by Blake Jacklin, and Strong is retired on the lineout.
That's tough on the sinking liner at this time of night. That's a good catch.
All right, as Robert Mackey comes up, let's continue on with your story.
Yeah, so I'm at this Team Ontario tryout as a kid, and so I've already made the faux pas of the white shoes. So then now I've come back with black shoes, and we're doing pitcher's fielding practice first. So I want to go first. So they hit the ball. I'm supposed to run over to first base and cover first base. You know what I did?
Oh, no.
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Nothing. I'm 18 or 9. I forget if I was 18 or 19. But I just stood there. You know why? I'd never been taught
to run over to first.
I was never been taught to cover first. You believe that? At 18, 19 years old, playing that level of baseball, never taught.
Wow.
And so that level of humiliation guided me, because I started coaching when I was 14. And that guided me to pay attention to the fundamentals and teach the fundamentals, which has always been my staple with all my coaching, is fundamentals. And but that was a massive amount of humiliation.
Absolutely. There's a swing, and
yeah, you had the same swing in the first inning.
Yeah, that one
on the strikeout.
Looked like it started to turn into a half swing, but he did go around. They appealed, it looked like, over to first base. So there's a strikeout, 2 away.
So the Randy Curran part of this, so now I get to pitch. But I'm told, and I just pitched the night before. I pitched 9 innings.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm asked to try out.
After going 9.
Yeah, and my arm is feeling a little fatigued, as to put it nicely. And I'm being told by Coach Upham, I'm only allowed to throw fastballs. The hitters know that too.
Yeah.
Now I was not I always said this about my pitching, which is overstating it, but it's a way to delineate between the fastball and the changeup.
Mm-hmm.
I had a minor league fastball and a major league changeup, and just my changeup was better than my fastball. Is what I'm saying.
0-2 count goes outside.
So I needed the changeup. They all knew fastballs are coming. Bases loaded. If anybody's familiar with Dixon Park, it's a short porch and right. It's only 280. I think it's 272 and right, something like that.
This is going to be another strikeout for Yadier Martinez, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. We'll leave on this cliffhanger.
Oh, I need to speed my stories up.
Hey, it's a good story.
I need to slow down.
They're getting through it here at Jack Couch. It's 3-2 Kitchener as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back with your story and a lot more action after this. Go anywhere.
Oh,
When it comes time to muck a mammoth meal, just dial up Domino's to rally a
What can
rip
you
up
do
the
with
road
a
and drop off a
rendezvous?
pair of piping
When your
pies.
business
Canada's
needs a meeting
top pie.
space on
Everything
demand,
about these beauties is top
SwiftSpace
shelf from
has the
ZTA.
solution.
Domino's.
Introducing
Just
the
send it, bud.
Rendezvous Meeting Booth, a comfy booth
It's a
for
new
six
season of
that
baseball,
assembles in
and
an
with that
instant.
comes new
Fold
merchandise
it,
in the
store it,
Jack
or
Couch
move
Park
it to another
merchandise tent
room.
and online
The
store.
Rendezvous
Make sure
assembles
to
in
check
2
out
minutes
our
with no
huge selection
tools.
of new
The
wearables to
Rendezvous
cheer on
Meeting
your
Booth
team.
by SwiftSpace.
We have replica
Designed
jerseys,
with the
jackets,
future in
pullovers,
mind.
hats, scarves, and blankets for those chilly evening games. Our shops have all different sizes to choose from, and we will try our best to fit you with Panthers authorized gear. Make sure to check us out at our merchandise tent at the front gate when you enter the park, or visit our shop online at KitchenerPanthers.com and click on Shop. We want our fans to wear our gear proud and loud and cheer on your Panthers.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube and 98.5 CKWR. We'll get to the Seth Strong story when he comes up to bat next, but I will say, for spoiler alerts for nobody that's in the chat or listening on 98.5 CKWR, as a big fan of Jack Black, I love this story.
Okay.
I have to say. I'll repeat it from the words
That's a
of
good
Seth
hint.
Strong, but we'll get into the action here as we'll let you finish your story as we see Jet Jarvis step into the batter's box for the third time tonight. 1 for 2 so far. Singled and scored back in the third. It's 3-2 Kitchener over Chatham-Kent here in the bottom of the fifth. The delivery outside.
Okay, so
Let's go.
I'll try and end this before the last pitch of the inning.
You're
How's that?
right.
So, lo and behold, I'm only allowed to throw fastballs.
Well, that one's going to be delivered into left center on the run. Haggith will make the catch.
Bases loaded. If anybody's familiar with Dixon Park, it's got a short porch and right. It's about 272. It's got a little gap between the outfield fence and then the perimeter of the actual park.
Okay.
And then it's got Blair Road. And then there is a little small parking lot. And then there is Bush. And then there's the Grand River.
Okay.
Mr. Curran put it into the river.
Of course he did.
You know,
That's not
you know how far that is? That's Herculean. That's like Mickey Mantle depths. I'm trying to make a team, and the guy even I am like, man, that guy's amazing.
I want to hit a few dingers, folks. It's a 1-0 here on Blake Jacklin.
So I faced Randy Curran twice in my life. Both times were home runs, one off a barn, and the other one in a river. No, I didn't make the team.
Legend. Was it just because of the Curran moonshots?
I think it was because I wasn't good enough.
That was fouled off by Jacklin.
In fairness to my skill set, I was being asked to do something I wasn't.
That's fair.
I was a strikeout pitcher, but I needed my changeup.
Yeah, less than 24 hours after throwing 9.
Yeah.
The delivery on the 2-1 upstairs.
But Randy Curran was a special baseball player.
He
ended up going out to National Baseball Institute at Simon Fraser University with a friend of mine that I played with, John Leonard. And John Leonard just spoke highly of Curran. Curran was just absolute masher of the baseball.
Curran mashed quite a few baseballs in this ballpark, that's for sure, as there's a walk taken by
Okay,
Jacklin.
so everybody comes out to try out for the team. I'm the manager of the Kitchener Panthers.
Okay.
First kid that makes my team, Jacklin.
Absolutely.
I want him.
He's a quality ball player.
I love it. Just how he goes about doing his business. Although I would teach him how to swivel and pivot there in center field, but that's something you can learn.
Yeah, there's a guy that can swivel and pivot on the other side as well. That leads a little bit more into my the story that was put through from Seth Strong. But
oh boy, there's a lot of clues, swivels and pivots.
I've been in the radio industry for about a decade. I've been known for teases.
For what?
Teases is what we call it in the radio industry.
Okay.
Give the listener a little bit of 10%, but enough of a 10% to want to keep them hooked in.
Okay. Well, you're throwing a couple hooks out there.
That's what I do. No one here on Raul Gonzalez. Still facing the lefty Petipus, as that one's going to go over to Mackey. Fields it over to second, over to first, and safe. So Gonzalez escapes the double play, and there is 2 away.
Yeah, slight hesitation there by Mackey. Didn't give him the opportunity to turn the pivot.
So Jacqueline's out on the 5-4. Gonzalez goes over to first. Now again, Jacqueline. Him and Jarvis, of course, both came onto this team back in 2021. And they were very early on in their careers. I mean, they were, I believe one of them is still technically of junior age. So Jarvis is an 02. Jacqueline is an 01. That one's well inside.
So now we're starting to see Petipus get a little tired. It's the 5th inning. You notice what I said earlier, that it's east and west.
It's that east-west, yeah.
So now he just went outside, far outside on the one pitch. Now he's far inside on the next pitch. So this is where, as a hitter, you want to sit back and make sure you're getting quality pitches to hit now. Don't swing at his wild stuff.
Well, that one's set up high and deep.
Looks like it's got a chance.
This one's a no-doubter onto Highway 7 for Nick Parsons. A 2-run home run. Make it 5-3 Kitchener. Remember what I was talking about earlier? The guy can hit home runs.
I do recall.
He's 3 for 3 tonight, folks.
I haven't been able to use my home run call yet down in Brantford.
No.
Well, and of course, this is your park, so I'm not allowed to say anything.
No, exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
It's the rule.
I haven't been able to use it yet. No dingers.
Tell you what, there's a couple of games that I'll have off later on in the season. I'll bring you in here. This tends to be a home run.
I don't even know if it's a good one. I haven't even been told by anybody if it's good, so I'm holding on to it. It's a teaser.
Oh, I like it.
But it's my, it'll be my homage to Family Guy.
You did.
My home run call is an homage to Family Guy.
All right.
In a way, sort of.
Well, bird is the word, folks. The 0-1 swing and a miss for strike 2 on Junior Ibarra. Ibarra 1 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first. The delivery, that one goes into left field on the run, and the catch is made out in left field by Braxton Haggith. Couple of diving catches here we've seen in the last little bit, JP.
Yeah, it's tough at this time of night, those sinking liners, but, hats off to the outfielders being able to track it and stay with it.
Heading to the 6th here at Jack Couch, it's 5-2 Kitchener. The latest runs coming off a 2-run home run from Nick Parsons. We'll be back after this.
And he can lift anything at all. He's that strong.
Joe Schuster, will you stop it or you'll miss your train? Now help me find number 5.
The North American
strong, but by day he's a mild-mannered reporter. Glasses, what's he good at anything?
Honestly, you Canadian kids.
To be in this cape. A cape, wearing these blue tights.
A hero in tights, really. Here it is.
They come out at night.
Listen, Lois, this guy is faster than anything, I swear.
If you're not fast, you're going to miss your train.
That's it. A bullet. He's faster. No, he's faster than a speeding bullet.
Come on, get on it. No one's going to read a comic strip about a strong man in tights, Joe. It'll never fly.
Fly, no. But he can leap over tall buildings. Oh, wow, yeah.
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
Wait, Lois. I've got something for you. Here, take it. It's a gift. You never know, it might be worth something someday. Is he great or what? Bye-bye, Lois.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, my life changed forever. During the pandemic, all of our lives changed, and many of us turned to alcohol and drugs to cope. As life returns to normal, the increase.
Introducing the all-new Velo ACP. It's light, it's balanced, so you can pick your pitch and drive the ball with maximum exit velocity. The game's gotten faster. Your bat has too.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth. Anthony Polowick, the batter here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. 5-3 Kitchener over the Barnstormers here on a 5-2 Kitchener. My bad. Just the 2 runs on the board for the Barnstormers. As that one's knocked into right field. And going a long way and making the catch is Jet Jarvis. You talked about speed, JP, on the base path with Jacqueline and Jarvis. They can do it on defense, too.
Yeah, speed kills in any sport, but I'll tell you, you have to hit the ball on the button to get it past a speedy outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
And when you cover that much real estate, again, probably the second guy I'd choose on the team.
Those 2 guys, I mean, there's just a lot of youth, but a lot of experience here in the IBL already. There's a reason why these 2 made this level of ball at such a young age, and they have blossomed ever since.
So when you go to a major league tryout,
that one's knocked right over, and that one gets under the glove of Parsons. It is a fair ball. Circling around to second is Fukuda, and he'll get in there standing up. Continue.
Yeah, so when you go to a major league tryout, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to stretch and so on, but they're going to run you first.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to run the 40. Okay. And there might be 100, there could be 200 people at that tryout. And basically, you're eliminated right after the run. Unless you're a specialty person, like a pitcher or catcher, you're eliminated. If you don't hit a certain mark, doesn't matter what else you can do.
Yeah.
And now they put a little code right beside your name. I won't say it on air, but basically it's not very nice.
Yeah.
And it's the thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
But they let you stay there for the rest of the day and do your thing and everything, but you're eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Unless all of a sudden you hit 12 of them onto Highway 7, then they're going to give you a second chance.
Noah Murciano, the batter, swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 the count here.
Because that's what I've noticed in baseball at every level, including professional, is that the game just gets a little bit faster, exponentially faster from local baseball to college, and then exponentially or a little bit faster after that. But there's the ground you have to cover, the speed of the pitch, your foot speed, everything else just has to be at that caliber of play.
Mm-hmm. It's a 1-2 count here on Murciano. Check over to second base by Martinez, who's still in the game. That one's fouled off.
So I alluded to earlier, or I mentioned, that Rusty Staub had been the player who had been hit the most. I'm wrong.
Okay.
So I looked it up here. It is Huey Jennings, who was hit 287 times in the years 1891 to 1903.
Oof. Swing and a miss. They're going to try and get him at second, but they're not going to get him. So just the 2 out here still.
And hit 51 times in the 1896 season.
Number 25.
That's got to leave a mark.
Back in those days, too, I wonder how many ice packs they got rolling around.
There's no helmets back there.
There's no helmets either.
There's no helmets, and they're not, they're getting paid literally peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
the protection of it all.
Yeah, and I'm sure the dental plans weren't all that strong back then either.
No.
Team pictures always looked real interesting.
Baseball pictures starting to look like hockey pictures.
That's right.
That one's outside. 1-0 here on Spencer Moray, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Yeah, I had one of those smiles back in the day.
Was that right?
12-year-old player had the little toothless grin.
Oh,
that
nice.
One's high and outside. But not for a puck to the face or anything like that. It was a kid. Lost a tooth.
Right.
That was right before picture day.
I grew up playing street hockey. I got scars all around my face from people that wanted to be like Bobby Clark.
Oh, no. That one's right in at the knees for strike 1. Are you sure you were just playing hockey and not just, bare knuckles?
It could have been. It could have been the earliest form of Game of Thrones too. I'm not sure.
Check over. And that one just missing down.
Martinez wanted that.
Yes, he did. Fans wanted that one too.
Didn't miss. If he missed, he didn't miss by much. Although Ibarra has didn't look back, so maybe Martinez wanted it, but I think Ibarra knew that.
And he's going to get that one. Yeah, full count here.
I always trust the catcher. Pitchers are beggars.
It's going to make him wait there for a moment. Here comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss. They got him. A fist bump there from Yadian Martinez. We head to the bottom of the 6th here at Jack Couch. It is Kitchener 5, Chatham-Kent 2. Stay with us.
When you're looking for a baseball or softball cleat, the first thing you need to know is what sport do you play, softball or baseball? For softball, there are 3 kinds of cleats that are good for you. The turf cleat, the rubber cleat, or the TPU cleat, which is known as hard plastic. The turf cleat is made for hard surfaces, synthetic, and gives you the feel of a running shoe. The rubber cleat is a softer spike and is made for beginners to mid-level players. The TPU cleat is a harder spike, gives you better performance and more stability while running the bases. When we look at baseball cleats, the 3 same apply: the turf cleat, the rubber cleat, and the TPU cleat. For turf cleat, it is also available for coaches. Then we add the metal cleat. The metal cleat is used for bantam players and up, and elite players as well. Please verify with your local association and rulebook that the metal cleat is good for you. If you need more tips on baseball cleats or softball cleats, please come and see us at Source for Sports, because at Source for Sports, we know our stuff.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Mark Pare and JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth. Well, I don't want to wait any longer. Spencer Marcus, Dan Battelle, and Seth Strong are due up. And since Seth Strong is due up this inning, let's go into the story.
All right. Okay, enough teasers. You don't want to throw one more teaser out?
No.
Okay.
I got to give the folks
throw the spoiler then.
So from Lori Strong, I do thank you for chiming in on the chat tonight. So apparently when Seth was younger, he used to get hit by pitches a lot being a left-handed hitter. One particular game, the pitcher was almost hitting him at every at-bat. Seth was ducking and dodging and doing all kinds of moves to get out of the way. His teammate yelled, quote, "Oh, look, moves like the Kung Fu Panda." And again,
it's funny his nickname stick.
As a Jack Black fan, I approve of this message. The delivery, first pitch seen there. And over to first it goes, just one away, just like that, as Tyler Henriquez. So Seth Strong is actually due up in the next inning, I should say.
First baseman number 36, Simon Grinberg.
Well,
that right there was Tyler Henriquez.
If Petipus can have a quick inning, he makes it into the 7th, but I have a feeling he's probably on a short leash at the moment.
Well, if he's anywhere around Yadian Martinez's pitch numbers right now, his leash is going to get pretty short. Yadian is over at 116 pitches.
Healthy.
Very healthy. The 6-3 on the putout for Henriquez, and Simon Grinberg will take one down the plate for strike 1.
Now, my son Tyler teaches high-end baseball. Okay, over at Velo Baseball in Kitchener. Anyhow, he's key on pitch count, things like that. Mm-hmm. And often we disagree, which is putting it mildly.
Okay.
Whereas I'm throw as hard as you can for as long as you can, that old school method of
3 pitches, 3 strikes. Simon Grinberg will go down on strikes, 2 away.
And if your mechanics are solid, I mean, there is a point of diminishing returns, but if you're still throwing strong, you got velocity, and your mechanics are good, let him go. That's we never agree on that.
Blue Jays fans are thinking in their heads right now, why didn't John Schneider think of that in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, well, if you want to know the inside scoop, it wasn't his decision.
Allegedly.
Did you attend the winter fundraiser with the Phillies manager?
I did.
Somebody asked that question, and he answered it saying it really wasn't his.
That one's going to be put into the outfield and caught by Haggett. So a 1-2-3 inning.
That should get Petipus by him another inning.
I would think so. We're heading to the 7th inning here at Jack Couch. Stay with us. 5-2 Kitchener over Chatham-Kent. This is Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube and 98.5 CKWR. Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube and 98.5 CKWR. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth at Jack Couch Park, getting ready for the top of the 7th. Kitchener 5, Chatham-Kent 2. Yadian Martinez out of the ball game. 116 pitches. He goes 6 strong. Strikes out 7 and makes way for Brett Reed. What'd you make of Yadian's performance here tonight?
Well, I thought he got a little stronger as he went along. I'm not saying that I'm surprised he's coming out at one pitch count of 116. It wouldn't have also surprised me if he came back out for the 7th. That said, he was consistently around the plate. A little early, he was a little more towards the center of the plate, but he started finding his spots late on. I mean, you get to 116 in the 6th inning. It means you're going in deep counts, but as we mentioned in the first couple innings,
fielded there by Ross over to first in time. 1 pitch delivered by Reed and 1 out just like that on the 4-3.
As we mentioned in the first couple innings, it just appeared to me like he just needed that kind of the punch out pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like he started getting his pitch counts up. He'd go 0-2 or 1-2 on somebody, and then it'd be full count or 2-2 or whatever, instead of having a punch out pitch. But having said that, he gets a lot of strikeouts.
Dan Battelle, the batter. It's 1 for 3 tonight as he takes one inside for strike 1. Out of town scoreboard, it is Welland 7, Brantford no score in the top of the 7th inning. Over in Barrie, the Maple Leafs have a 1-0 lead on the Baycats in the top of the 6th, as that one's fouled away by Patel.
So I'm not sure you're aware or not. You have a hometown kid who's emulating, not quite, because he didn't have the same playing career, but emulating the same professional coaching career as Rob Thompson in Trevor Knipe. Do you know who Trevor is?
No, I do not.
So Trevor played as a Panther growing up and then ended up going to junior college for 1 year. I think it was Oakton.
That one's going to be sent all the way out into center field, and it'll be fielded, a one-hopper in front of Jacqueline, a base hit here for Battelle.
And so he came back. He was one of the original owners of Play Ball Academy, that indoor baseball training facility up by Princess Auto on New Dundee Road. Anyhow, so this is the power of social media. So he started teaching, and he loves infielders, as Rick Boone goes out to have a chat with the pitcher. I play baseball with Rick.
Is he more of a power hitter, kind of soft
Rick?
contact? Yeah.
Rick's a contact guy. And he's high energy. Yeah,
he really
super
is.
high energy. Really nice guy. He is, I would say, if you're putting together a team, he's an important person to have on a team.
Mhm.
And he's always thinking baseball. He's a fun-loving guy, but he's always thinking baseball. I really like Rick. I like him as a person, and I like having him on a team that I'm playing on. Having said that, I'd get him out 8 times out of 10.
Hey, if it's 3 out of 10, he's still a Hall of Famer. The delivery to Seth Strong.
Hall of Fame and old timers.
We'll make one.
Oh, Shane more like.
Yeah.
But just coming back to Trevor, he so one of the original owners, but he started putting his infield training tips and so on online via Instagram and Twitter and such. And he ended up getting noticed and picked up by the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then he got picked up as an infield coach, single A. And now he is the player development coordinator for single A. So if you want to go to double A, you got to go through Trevor. That's a hefty responsibility. But that's what happened to Rob Thompson too. He ended up being player development coordinator for the Yankees and kept working his way up.
And he had quite the team he was working with, that's for sure. There's a big swing and a miss by Seth Strong, 3-1.
He was responsible. Rob Thompson
he
was
there
for a lot of the growth in that, because the Yankees are renowned for
there the late
growing
90s.
their own. Yeah, he's there for the that dynasty in the 90s.
Yeah, the Marianos, the Derek Jeters. So it's a 3-1 here on the Panda. Throw over to first, not in time.
And it's nice to see a local boy get his opportunity. Now he's the field manager for the Philadelphia Phillies.
He's having a little bit of success over there.
He's done okay. It doesn't hurt that you have the stud in Bryce Harper.
Absolutely. Who we found out is quite the leader on and off the field when we had him in at the event back in the spring at the museum.
Oh, you're talking about Rob?
I'm talking about Rob, and I'm talking about Bryce.
Okay, you're a Bryce fan?
Bryce fan.
Yeah.
Mind him.
My son Jackson is listening. I have to be honest, I'm not. But we go back and forth. Jackson likes Bryce.
That one's outside, and Seth Strong will take the base.
I like how Mike Trout goes about his business.
Yep.
Yeah. Otani, I like how he goes about his business.
Third baseman, number 7, Robert Mackey.
Well, looks like they got something happening here.
It looks like it, partner. It's runners on first and second with just the one out, and it's Robert Mackey. He's been hit by a pitch and has struck out twice here tonight.
And Grimberg is whispering in his ear. He's right behind him at first base.
The delivery upstairs, way high for ball 1. Wonder what they're talking about. Travel plans.
I went to a baseball conference once, and Tommy Lasorda was talking. Oh, he was fun to listen to.
The 1-0, right down Broadway for strike 1.
I loved his pizza story.
Story?
Yeah. So.
Wait, first off, pineapples on pizza, yay or nay?
Absolutely. That's a Canadian who invented that. You know that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. The Hawaiian was invented by a Canadian.
There's the 1-1, swing and a miss.
I thought of an Arctic Star or something on the pizza instead, but no, pineapple.
Wow.
So I'm at a baseball conference, and Tommy Lasorda goes on to tell a story about how his team is playing kind of flat. So he runs out to argue a call, but he's not really arguing the call. He's just trying to rile everybody up.
Couple of checks over at first.
the fans are yelling and screaming, so nobody can really hear what he's saying.
No, of course not.
And there's no John Boy in there right now that can read lips. So,
so
he goes out to the umpire and proceeds to tell him that he's only out here to rile up his team.
Swing, and he got a piece of it. Stays alive at 2-2.
So he demonstratively, with his body, gets very animated, and he says, "After the game, I want to get you a pizza."
Okay.
And he throws his hand up, and he points one. Do you want one item? And he points out, and he goes, "Do you want 2 items?" And he says, "You need to tell me." And he starts using his hands a lot.
There's a big strikeout for Brett Reed. Robert Mackey goes down swinging.
As the umpire tells that story, he had a hard time fighting back the giggles.
Of course.
Because it has nothing to do with baseball. He can get away with the fact that everybody's screaming. Nobody can hear him, and he's just telling them, "Listen, he's just waiting, and then just throw me out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braxton Haggith is the batter here, the left fielder. Runner still on first and second with 2 away. Of course, those in the chat talking about, of course, Seth Strong being from Ohio. That one well outside. Actually drove through Dayton on my way to Nashville back a couple months ago.
Dayton,
Ohio.
Yeah, it's got the Air Force Museum there.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
Quite
just
the place.
north of Cincinnati.
Yeah, and what do they call that? It's on their license plate. The first place of flight or something. No, that's North Carolina. But that's where
I was
Wright
well
brothers were from.
outside. Yeah, 2-0.
Dayton.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for too many license plates. I think I was looking for a Jimmy John's in Dayton.
Yeah, okay.
A friend of mine was craving Jimmy John's. We don't get them up here, so I had to drive.
That's the one thing when you go down there. You're going to get lots of selection.
Oh, great subs. Great selection. Here's the 2-0. That one's put up high and out of play. Yeah, it stopped at Jimmy John's on the way there in Dayton. And then we found one just north of Cincinnati. I think it was more closer to Cincinnati than to Dayton. Stopped there on the way back, picked up some gas. Yeah, there's a Jimmy John's right there, right off the highway. Here comes the 2-1. That one's put up high. This is playable. Left field it goes all the way back against the warning track, and it is gone. Braxton Haggith. A 3-run shot, and we are tied just like that.
That was a soft little Oppo taco. I always shake my head when I come into this park, how the ball carries here.
So Don Menard, who was the field manager here for a couple of seasons, he would always tell me there is no lead that is ever safe in Jack Couch.
I believe that. That was almost an excuse me swing.
It didn't seem like it didn't seem like it had a lot of power to it.
No, didn't have a lot of legs.
It was going into left field. It looked like Spencer Voisin was tracking it down, but went all the way to the warning track before he realized, oh, this is going over the scoreboard.
The ball just carries here.
It does. And for Haggith, that is home run number 3 on the season. Make it RBIs 14, 15, and 16 for him.
There's a reason Randy Kern led the IBL in home runs for a number of years.
When
this is your home sandbox.
When you're hitting here, the delivery, that one on the outside edge, but just misses. So Brett Reed gives up a dinger here in the 7th. And that one right over and grabbed by Raul Gonzalez over to first and in time. What a play by Raul Gonzalez to bring us into stretch time. 5-5 is your score here on a Thursday night. We'll be back after stretch time. Don't go anywhere.
Mucho Burrito. The average order takes less than 6 minutes. Or does it? Our salsa. Those pickled onions. And the chicken. All so you can taste the time without having to take the time. Ooh, my carnitas are ready.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Heading to the bottom of the seventh, a 3-run home run by Braxton Haggith in the top half of the inning puts us square up at 5 aside. And JP, you think about that last play over at first to end the inning. That was a bit of a 50-50 ball.
I'm coaching for Chatham. I'm asking for that guy to go down the home plate and just see if that foot was off the bag. To me, I'm this far back and I question it. You're at field level. That is something that you could ask for some help.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you're an umpire and you get stuck in a position, you're assuming that your position is correct based on your experience. But sometimes just the way the ball is thrown, the way the player, tries to make the play, sometimes you get blocked out. You don't see everything. And so that might be one that I would question. However, they didn't.
No, and we are here in the seventh inning, at the bottom of the seventh, rather. This is where you start to think about, hey, maybe we can get a first base camera down there, maybe a third base camera down there. Start thinking about possibly doing replay challenges here in the one day. Imagine.
Playing the bottom of the seventh, your Kitchener Panthers, second base for number 5.
But alas, here we are. We'll see the number 9 hitter, Spencer Ross, who's 0 for 2 tonight, step up.
Although I would consider myself an old school guy, I do agree with the video replay, only because I'm, my baseball experience and my penchant for umpiring and wanting to get the right call, not just any call. So the fact that video replay can assist in that, I agree with it. It's better to have the right call.
Absolutely. Delivery well outside for ball number 2. New pitcher into the ball game here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Sam McKinley.
It is Sam McKinley on the hill. So Eric Pettipies, his night is done. And Sam McKinley throws his first 3 of the ball game, all balls here on Spencer Ross.
One swing of the bat. And Martinez has no opportunities and no decision now. And one swing of the bat, Pettipies is off the hook.
What a beautiful game this is, isn't it?
I love it.
It's a beautiful game, but it can also be cruel at the same time.
Well, it's a game based on failure, so absolutely it creeps up to be cruel every once in a while.
The 3-1, well inside, and Ross will take the base. And this will bring up Jet Jarvis, the right fielder.
Jet Jarvis.
It's a whole new ball game, folks. It's 5-all. Panthers score 2 in the first. Chatham-Kent responds with 1 in the top of the second. Kitchener responds with 1 in the top of the third. In the bottom of the third to the top of the fourth. Chatham-Kent responds again. It's 3-2. 2 runs in the bottom of the fifth for Kitchener make it 5-2. And then 3-run home run by Haggith makes it 5-all. Jet Jarvis is the batter with a 1-0 count here. And the manager is going to come out and...
Yeah, there might be a little bit of strategy there. Jarvis was showing bunt on the first pitch. So it's possible they just want to have a chat about what they want to do. Who the key out's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you forfeit second base and just take the out? Or do you try and, put a little pressure and maybe go for that lead guy so that, then you got 1 out and a ground ball at that point will get you out of the inning with a double play potentially. So more likely just strategy. Shortstop's out there with the catcher, so
And this is a situation where,
My
hey,
apologies. Wait, who was that? Okay, that's a little odd. Who went out there with him?
Didn't actually see.
So the coach goes out. Pitching coach went out. Okay, I've never seen that.
Back in
that was two coaches that went out.
Yep.
That counted as two trips. It's weird. I've never seen that before.
Livery over, trying to pick off Spencer Ross, but Fukuda doesn't throw over to first after the pitch.
Did Jarvis show bunt again?
It looked like he was thinking about it.
Yeah.
As you see, Mackey is in the grass. The shortstop and the second baseman over at traditional depth. And, of course, Strong over at first to try to get
coaches
the runner.
will have tendencies, right? And I know Rick Boone is fundamental, station to station baseball. So so this makes sense that he's bunting.
Back to the fence it goes, 2-1. Of course, the Panthers will be back in action on Sunday evening. It's a 5:15 first pitch against the London Majors. It's a doubleheader. We'll continue on with a game that got suspended due to weather back in June. The 2-1 bunt right in front over to first and in time. They're not going to get Ross over at second, so they advance the runner. And Jarvis is out on the, I believe that's a 1-3.
That was a 5-3.
That was a 5-3. Okay, yeah, it was the third baseman that came in. They kind of jumbled
I don't
together after
understand
a
what
little bit.
Coach Boone's doing there.
What?
I understand what Coach Rick Boone's doing there, but I'm also thinking, depending on the speed of Ross.
That one right over. They're
Yeah,
going to
now
get
that
the runner.
now the bunt is useless.
Yeah, the tag.
Did
got
he get
him.
away from it?
He got away from it, but he's going to get tagged out.
Hey, I got to give him Spider-Man points for that one.
Spencer Ross
He almost got away with it twice.
employing the 5 rules of dodgeball there.
Oh, what are they doing? Somebody's quick from the bullpen to want to pick an argument.
Meantime, Jacqueline snuck over to second base.
Number 18, Raul Gonzalez.
I'm surprised who's number 31 for Kitchener
31 for Kitchener.
out of the bullpen. So Coach Norman's wondering, why is that guy charging out of the bullpen all the way out to shortstop to defend his player? There's no reason he should be tossed.
So
you can't come onto the field to play like that for no
31 is
reason.
actually on our scorecard as Jose Vasquez,
Oh,
who is
Jose. I know Jose. I coached him
Cambridge boy.
for exactly 2 innings.
And it looks like they're tossing
I don't think this is going to end well for Jose.
Yeah, and now Boone is having a word with the umpire here.
Something happened on that play, on the back end of that play, where Jacqueline ends up sliding into second. Yeah, he's gone.
Yep. So Jose Vasquez will be, and you can see him coming out of the dugout area, and he is getting, in his words, with the umpires before he leaves the field of play. So Jose Vasquez, who might have been potentially called upon to come into this ball game as a relief pitcher, will not have that opportunity, as it seems like he has been thrown out.
I agree with the umpires.
Now, I didn't actually see it myself, so Blake Jacqueline.
I think it's the fastest Jose has ever ran, though, from that bullpen out to shortstop. Man, he zipped out there quick. Yeah, there was something that happened out at second base there with Jacqueline on the back end of that play that fired something up in Vasquez, and he decided to run out to support his teammate. But
For those that are wondering, we don't have it on the sheet. We'll let you know in just a moment for the Spencer Ross putout for those that are keeping score at home. Meantime, Raul Gonzalez comes in as he'll take one outside for ball one. Hit a home run in the first, reached on a fielder's choice, and later scored on Nick Parsons' home run in the fifth, and flew out in the third. So it's 1 for 2 here tonight with a couple of runs.
You're wondering how to score that put out on Ross?
How do you see it?
It was 1-5-4-5.
All right, for those scoring at home, that's a 1-5-4-5 on the putout.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're throwing back and forth and the evasions, the numbers kind of get a little dicey.
Right. It's supposed to be a rundown, and it turns into a throwdown, or a hoedown, or a showdown.
As that one set up
Vasquez was looking for the showdown.
That one set up deep against the fence, and the catch is made right on the warning track by Braxton Haggett.
Just when you need the ball to carry out of here, it didn't.
If only he had a couple inches more, that one could have left the ballpark. But we remain 5-all as we head to the 8th here at Jack Couch. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Brett Reed remains on the hill here for Kitchener. Of course, Brett Reed playing in his 8th game of the season. It's an 18.32 ERA. Yes, quite the inflated ERA, but there were a couple of games earlier on this year where actually no.
Schnarr.
So it is actually Brady Schnarr that's into the ball game here now. They didn't signal up here initially, so I didn't see him. But Brady Schnarr into his 4th ball game of the year. He's gotten 3 1/3. As that one is going to be taken for strike 1. So again, Brady Schnarr, 4th game of the year. 3 1/3 innings. Has struck out 6, has walked 1, has faced 12 batters coming into tonight.
Walk 12? Did you say walk 12?
No, he's surrendered 12 hits. He has walked hits. Just the 1.
Yeah, his delivery system is just straight up. Like here it is. He's very square. Pitches down the railroad track, so to speak, like railroad track from pitcher's mound to the home plate. And he stays within the tracks. His hips and shoulders. So he probably throws a lot of strikes, but that in turn can also turn into a lot of hits.
So almost very similar to Yadier Martinez in a way.
Probably Yadi's got that little arm side run, so it takes the ball off the barrel a bit.
Mm.
He doesn't, from what I'm seeing so far, he doesn't have that run. So it's a hitter can barrel up on him a little easier. You know, you're always looking for that late movement.
It's 2-2 here on Fukuda. Swing and a miss. They got him.
I love when I'm proven wrong.
Panthers fans are probably happy too with that strikeout. So 1 away here in the 8th. Again, 5-5 is your score. Ball game here. 3 games happening in the IPL.
I hope we go to extra innings. I've enjoyed my time so much with you so far, Mark, that I just want it to keep on going.
Hey, let's keep.
But I'm okay with a walk-off win in the bottom of the ninth too.
Hey, let's get more games in. Now, I got work in the morning.
I have golf in the morning.
There's a strike. 0-2 here on Noah Murciano. So top of the 8th in Welland, the Jackfish have a 7-3 lead on Brantford as that one goes outside, 1-2. And in Barrie, it's 1-1 between the Maple Leafs and the Baycats in the top of the 7th. Murciano, that's a broken bat. Ross fields it over to first and in time. Ross taking that one just at the edge of the grass over in the second base spot and fields that one pretty cleanly, and there's 2 away. Thinking there was a defensive change there?
No, I just saw the footwork from Grinberg, and I was like a little confused. He gave himself a little bit of a tongue twister with his feet. He stretched with the wrong foot.
Oh, okay.
That's odd. He almost handcuffed himself on the throw. Sorry, I'm using baseball terminology, but
it's baseball terminology. He's all good.
Although handcuffs can be said to be used in many other situations.
Yes,
but also in baseball.
Baseball and in life.
Yes.
2-0 is the count here on Moray.
Well, if you're getting handcuffs, you're on the wrong side of life at that point.
I think so. That one's delivered. Paints the outside for strike 1. Here's the 2-1, and that one just missed, according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he just really, there's some umpires that will consider, because the strike zone technically is at the front of the plate. It comes up,
Yep.
So you break that pane of imaginary glass.
The 3-1 swing and a miss.
But some umpires will call that mid-back corner.
Mm-hmm.
So if you backdoor a curve coming around and it's technically a ball at the front of the plate, but it happens to come into the back of the plate, a la Jimmy Key from way back when for the Jays. He was famous for his backdoor curve. Some guys will call it. He's not calling. His strike zone is super crisp on the corners.
So
Spencer Moran will take a walk, and with 2 away, we will see Spencer Marcus come back to the dish. 2 for 4 tonight is Spencer Marcus, singled in the first and in the second. Of course, the Barnstormers will be back in action on the road on Saturday afternoon. They will take on the Barrie Baycats in Barrie. They'll be off on Sunday, so this is the second to last game of the weekend. And that one's in for a strike. So again, Chatham-Kent, that drive to Barrie, definitely the longest road trip of the year. Spencer Marcus facing a 1-1 count here. Runner's going to go. That one's going to get over. Good fielding there by Gonzalez, but he won't have a play as he loses his footing.
Yeah, tough play all around. Might have, did he jam a knee on that or not?
He's a bit slower to get up, but it looks like he's all right.
Looks like Ibarra's going out just to give Gonzalez a little time.
And Gonzalez is a tough cookie.
Where'd that term ever come up? I've never had a cookie I didn't like, and certainly, even if it was tough, I wouldn't mind it. What is a tough cookie?
A tough cookie? You're a tough cookie.
Well, let's throw that out. I am?
Yeah, you're a tough cookie. You've had to deal with me for
I'm
the
going to
last
take
3
that
hours.
as a compliment. I'm not exactly sure, and I don't even know. I don't know what it means, so I'm going to take it as a compliment.
That one's inside. Well, like I said, you've had to deal with me for the last 3 hours, so you must be a tough cookie.
Well, among many things.
Dan Patel, the shortstop in the batter's box here, facing a 1-0 count. Runners on first and second. That one's fouled
I'm
off.
enjoying myself, Mark. Let it be known to your worldwide public here.
Well, the fans are tuning in a little bit more. We have 145 on the stream as we speak. Definitely thank all of you for tuning in on YouTube, as well as all of those tuning in on 98.5 CKWR on your radio dial.
I give you a virtual wave.
That's a strike. Just don't wave back, especially if you're driving. Keep your hands on the wheels, folks.
Well, thank you for that advice.
I'm here for baseball and driving advice. That's what I do. 1-2 count here on Patel. Schnarr looking for the put-away pitch here. Livery swing and a miss. They got him.
I like that. I like that because I've never been a fan of that batting style. Holding the sword there, and then getting set when you get into your motion. So I was happy to see it from a pitcher to a pitcher. I like this. I like that.
Bottom of the 8th upcoming here from Jack Couch. It's 5-5 between Chatham-Kent and Kitchener.
Viens, Abby. Viens, Zadie.
Téléphone.
Yeah, but you told me that. Okay. I wanted the day off. I knew they wouldn't leave me alone. But I couldn't let the guys down.
That night in 1944, Montreal beat Detroit 9-1. Maurice Rocket Richard scored 8 points, 5 goals, 3 assists. A legend was born.
Welcome back in the broadcast booth here in Kitchener. This is Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube. Mark Pare and JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth. Next 5 games up for the Kitchener Panthers. You see it on the screen there. A doubleheader against the London Majors on Sunday, starting at 5:15. Of course, it'll be a continuation for Game 1, and then we'll play a full 7 after that. Barrie on the road, Hamilton on the road on Thursday and Friday of next week, and then back at home against the Baycats. First visit of the season for the Baycats on July 14th. And then the Brantford Red Sox will be here on Tuesday, July 16th. The delivery is going to be fouled up.
Ouch. No, that was hit by pitch.
Oh, he hit him.
Huey Jennings down to first. Yeah, got it.
This
him in the elbow.
Seems like he's got a magnet or something. 8th hit by pitch of the season for Nick Parsons. Leads the team in that category.
It just tells you like you to stand close to the plate, crowd the plate. You know, in college baseball, that hit by pitch is part of an offensive strategy.
So just being a guy.
Well, just they stand in that back corner and hug it as close as they can to that line.
That one knocked down the line, foul.
And they just wear it. They just wear it. If it's going to come inside, they wear it. Because, like I mentioned, it's part of the offensive strategy. It's get them on base, and if you're going to get a free one, why not?
Why not? Junior Ibarra, the batter, facing an 0-2 count here. That one's outside. 1-2 the count here.
Plus,
Nick
plus,
Parsons.
you're wearing all that football equipment now trying to swing a baseball bat, so really, you don't really get hurt that much.
The delivery holds off on that. That one just missing on the outside. So Nick Parsons, now with his 8th hit by pitch of the season, he's tied with Kieran Bowles of the Brantford Red Sox.
Oh, yeah, Bowles is a crowder, too.
Yeah, Bowles has worn a couple this season, that's for sure.
But he always does it with a smile.
The 2-2 outside, and the runner's going to go over to second. They're not going to get the throw as Parsons will advance. Call that a wild pitch. Of course, we haven't been able to check the details of
I'm a
the
pitcher. I'm going to say that's a pass ball.
Yeah, it's a pass ball? All right.
Well, listen, you probably got an argument for both. You had to reach across to get that, but either way, he scampered off to second base.
So the batter, Junior Ibarra, is going to step out for a moment, wipe the sweat off his brow. A hot one.
Yeah, typical Ontario summer weather here with the mugginess.
Yeah, it's 23 degrees right now. Bit of cloud cover. It's been in the high 20s all day and kind of started to dip over the last hour or so.
It started to dip in the booth here. When we first walked up here, I thought, this is like a sauna up here. I was ready to somebody put water on the rocks.
Maybe some eucalyptus.
Yeah, make it more spa-like.
Yeah. So Junior fouls one away. Now, the ones that are watching on the YouTube broadcast right now, they can see the tip of the head of the center fielder, Spencer Marcus, just right there in the bottom of the screen, right next to the scoreboard. And he moves away just like that. And back in he goes. And that one is going to hit Ibarra.
Yeah, zinged him a bit too, eh?
So Ibarra will take his base. So 2 straight hit by pitches. And the Panthers, just like that, have runners on first and second with nobody out.
This is the inning you want to do it, too. I mean, this is the inning that way you can close that out in the top of the ninth. So,
well, and I almost think right now,
it's
too.
Quite possible. Where are we in the order?
We are into the number 6 hitter right here,
so,
Tyler Henriquez.
And it wouldn't surprise me, knowing Coach Boone. Wouldn't surprise me that they lay the ball down here.
So you can already see
infield set up for double play up the middle, but infield corners are in.
Yeah, right into the grass. Yeah, definitely squaring up the bunt there. Henriquez wasn't making a secret out of it.
No, if you're going to sacrifice, just get the job done. Give yourself up for the benefit of the team. This is definitely not a bunt for a base hit situation, so if you're going to do it, just give it up.
And stepping off is McKinley. Had to check over at second base to Parsons. Couple of looks over at number 88. Squaring up to bunt, holding off.
You know, again, and if Chatham wants to walk him, go right ahead. I mean, this you only bunt strikes.
So it's 2-0.
Because that 2-0, it also changes the strategy too. It's quite possible you give him a hack, because now he's going to be able to see a good pitch to hit.
Squares up. That one's going to be bunted.
That's disappointing. He's got to go down with that pitch. He can't drop the barrel down. He's got to go down with it. So he's got to bend down with it. You bunt at eye level, so your eyes need to be equal to the ball's height. So he's got to go down with that. Or you're susceptible to that right there, which could lead to a double play potentially.
Couple looks over, the 2-1, squaring up, and he's going to win one.
Bingo, bango, bongo, 3 in a row.
And Henriquez is down. He did not take that one in a sweet spot.
No, he was in a vulnerable position when he squared the bunt. That is not in a position. That's, nobody likes a baseball to the kidney. or any other organ for that matter.
You can say that again, partner.
I won't, but
bases are loaded here for Simon Grinberg.
I'm not sure.
We're going to wait a moment here.
Grinberg. Grinberg might get an RBI and could be the fourth in a row here. Yeah, that was that one. He felt that one.
Yes, he did. And he's going to be all right. He'll get a round of applause here from the crowd. Crowd here tonight. Quite a few fans here in attendance. We're celebrating Canada Day on Independence Day here tonight. Of course, Panthers did not actually play on July 1st. And for those that have dogs, come on down Sunday afternoon, 5:15. It'll be dog days in the park. Bring your pup. We'll have some treats. First dogs that get into the park here on Sunday afternoon will get a special dog treat. We entered in for a prize as well.
Wow. I'll have to let my dog know.
Please let him know. In dog language. Don't know what that is in dog language, but usually it just sounds like who's a good boy or who's a good girl. Oh, that is adorable.
You can't see it on camera, but I have a dog. I have a Cane Corso, and he's a handsome fella, and he likes to chase baseballs. Did they make a pitching change here? Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. We have a new pitcher into the ball game here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So we'll get a couple of warm-up pitches here.
Well, it'll be a small feat if he can come in and put a hold on this.
So Kenny will
nobody out, bases loaded. I mean, the sabermetrics or whatever analytics you want to put on that, I'm sure are
you're an
definitely in the favor of KW. What's that?
Analytics guy, aren't you?
Actually, I'm more analytical than people think I am. But I don't refer it on here. I have
analytics.
My laptop is stuck inside my head.
I like it. So, and this also changes a bit too, because now you're going from righty to lefty. Williams.
Yeah, it'll be lefty-lefty on matchup with Grinberg, right?
Yeah, yes, indeed. So you have Williams. He's in his ninth appearance, I should say. He has started in 4 games, so that's why you see his innings pitched a little bit higher than what you would normally see with relievers. So he's gotten through 31 2/3. He has surrendered 41 hits, has struck out 17, has walked 13. His last game came back on Canada Day, a 9-7 victory against Toronto, pitched in that one in relief, went 1 2/3, only gave up a run on 2 hits and struck out 2.
He looks like he's got a little giddy up on the fastball.
Delivery is going to be fouled off. And almost caught by the guy in the on-text circle, Spencer Boysen.
Well, it wasn't a hit by pitch, so far things are looking up for Chatham.
Absolutely. And everybody on the infield is playing in the grass. And that one's
yeah, they got to cut that run down. I mean, if they can turn the double play at home and then to first, that's a monumental feat if they can get that done. He's got to get something that the hitter can turn over on and get a ground ball.
The 1-1 blooper
fly should do it.
Yep, and everybody returns back safely. So just like that, one away. That one looked like it was more in on the hands.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of arm side run like Martinez had. So on the left-handed hitting Greenberg, it was running back into the hands.
So Spencer Boysen will come in. He's 0 for 3 tonight, but all on contact.
Well, that tells me he's due.
Yeah. A liner over to second base and a pop-up into the infield that was caught by Polowick. Check swing is going to go foul and dribble down toward the Panthers' dugout. Flew out to left field his last time up in the 6th. Gets a piece of that. Puts the count at 0-2. This is a big moment here for the Panthers with the bases loaded. You have to capitalize here. The 0-2 chopper, that's going to go foul, so he stays alive.
Yeah, the only true failure in this at bat is a swing and a miss. If you can put the ball in play, then at least they have to clean it, field it cleanly. They got to throw it cleanly. You got opportunities to potentially score.
Another one fouled off. Stays alive again.
So Voisin's got to put the ball in play here. Make the defense, like we were saying earlier in the game, make the defense make a play. Be a playmaker.
Absolutely.
Force them to be a playmaker.
Second baseman and shortstop going back into the infield. The first and third baseman pretty much at the edge of the grass in their positions. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and another one of those excuse me swings, if you will.
Yeah, I know Spencer, so I'm going to be nice.
Spencer Rock.
So that's disappointing. Disappointing because he kind of gave up on the swing in a critical moment. Each game of baseball, regardless of the level, is always determined by 6 to 8 pitches. Either you're going to get a key out or they're going to get a key hit. You never really know when they're happening in a game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where baseball experience sometimes comes in, because when you get a spidey sense that it's going to happen. But this is definitely one of those situations where, it's a key at bat, as Spencer's was.
Spencer Ross, now the batter, took the first pitch upstairs, takes that one just on the outside edge for a 1-1 count here. Spencer 0 for 2, walked his last time up.
So Chatham's very close to being able to skate out of here.
That one inside, but paints the edge for strike 2.
I will tip my cap to the lefty from Chatham if he can skate out of here with no runs.
Kenny Williams came into this inning with the bases loaded with nobody out. And that one just drops down for ball 2. One pitch away from getting out of a bases loaded jam without any damage on the scoreboard. Kenny gets the sign. That one is over the glove. 1 run will come in to score. The brakes get put on at third, and the Panthers have taken the 6-5 lead. A base hit for Spencer Ross, and he extends his hitting streak in the process.
He got the Jack Couch bounce.
Yes, he did.
Top of the order, right fielder number 23.
I've seen that before.
Yes.
Nothing Battelle could do up with that one, as that was, like you said, a Jack Couch bounce.
I think he could have done a little more.
Think so?
I think so. If he wears that one, he can still pick that ball up and touch second base.
Keep it in front of him in a way.
Well, absolutely. So here's the key.
Catcher, right?
Here's the key as an infielder. Okay, and it drives me nuts when this doesn't happen. So that's one of those circumstances.
That one's going to go over to second. Over to first it goes, and that will do it here for the inning. But the Panthers take the 6-5 lead.
I'll pick up on that.
We'll pick up on that after this. Panthers looking to close things out here against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Don't go anywhere.
Buddy Break with Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
There's very few of us that can get out of doing housework, even though some of us try. But it's the physical demand of doing some chores that causes lower back discomfort.
But exercises done regularly, such as single leg raises, will condition the muscles and joints that support the back and keep it in a healthy balance throughout the day. Start by laying face up on the floor with one leg bent. Then slowly raise the other leg as high as you can comfortably. Hold for a count of 5, then slowly lower. When you do this exercise, keep your lower back pressed against the floor. This will stretch your hips and hamstring muscles and strengthen your quadriceps. Now remember, slowly raise your leg, hold for a count of 5, then lower. Once you've done 5 with one leg, switch and do 5 with the other. Hold for a count of 5, then lower. Due to a combination of poor posture, lack of exercise, and overeating, it's no wonder that 8 out of 10 people will eventually suffer back pain.
Set aside 15 minutes every day to exercise your back. It'll do wonders for your total body. So until next time, keep fit and have fun.
Body Break.
Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. A Spencer Ross single with the bases loaded in the 8th gives the Panthers a 6-5 lead over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. And looking for the save here in the top of the 9th is Nathan Laird. Now, what were you saying about the infield play there, just to kind of finish off your point?
I think it's critical that infielders do everything they can, just like a catcher needs to do everything he can when there's a runner at third base. You got to keep the ball in front of you, because if as an infielder, if you keep the ball in front of you, you at least give yourself, in that particular case, Batal might have had a chance at second base still to get the out, possibly. Whether he would have got it, don't know. But if he wears that pitch, or he wears that ground ball off his chest, or keeps it in front of him, granted, not a great bounce, but then he's got options. And the field of play at that point is small. Gets behind him, everything, like they're lucky that two runners didn't score on that.
Yeah.
Consider there's 2 out, the runner at second base is going on contact. So I just, players need to keep the ball in front of them, especially infielders. And it needs to be done all the time, not just when you need to, so that your brain doesn't think about it.
Here in the top of the 9th, and who better to have at the dish than Seth Strong to lead things off here, to try and get back into this one, as that one's going to be fouled off. It'll be Seth Strong, Robert Mackey, and Braxton Haggis due up here for the Barnstormers. For Brett Reed, of course, the Kitchener native, in his making his 9th appearance of the season, has a save to his credit already earlier on the season. That came against Guelph on June 23rd. So Nathan Laird will deliver that one for a strike.
Strong wants that one back.
Someone's telling me in the booth, it's Nathan Laird pitching. I said, yeah, that's what I said. Laird with the delivery. That one is going to be put into the outfield off of the glove of Ross. And that's a base hit for the Panda to lead things off here in the 9th.
You can always tell the difference between that extra level of hitter. It's the sound. I've got earphones on, or headphones, and I can still hear the sound that's different off of Strong's bat than other people's bats. And it's not the wood. It's the swing.
It's a special player. He really is just a special player. And honestly, I put my vote in right now. He's the IBL Rookie of the Year. Putting himself into a great conversation, too, for possibly an IBL MVP award as well. The delivery, swing and a miss by Robert Mackey for strike 1. Keep in mind, Seth Strong, again, it's his first year in the IBL. He's got some accolades already, of course, spent the last few seasons in Indie Ball. This time last week, he was winning a triple crown here in the IBL. Was first in average, first in home runs, first in RBI. Squaring up to bunt. That one's sent up, and that's going to be caught by Nathan Laird. So 1 away here in the 9th.
Kitchener likes that.
Kitchener very much likes that.
Oh, Kitchener, the opposing team always likes when somebody doesn't bunt the ball correctly. The bat barrel needs to be just slightly higher than the knob. They can't be even. Spin on the ball, it's going to send the ball straight up.
Game of inches.
No, that's a game of practice.
Absolutely.
Bunting is not that hard. It's just practice.
Haggis will foul that one off.
In Japanese baseball, which it's there. I was always surprised to hear this, but the national sport for Japan is baseball. And they will bunt in every inning. And 1 through 9, too. So the 4-hitter will bunt. Everybody bunts.
Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss.
So Laird got a gift in that bunt.
Apparently, we
in
have
this situation, that first out is key because now it's one pitch. You win the game.
Absolutely.
Right? You're a double play and you're out.
Fans get loud here at Jack Couch. Nathan Laird with the delivery on the 0-2. That one into the dirts.
I got a feel for Ibarra. Laird has been stuffing a few in the dirt on him. He actually hit him in the toe during warm-ups.
Yeah, Ibarra's been he's been holding strong all season long back there. Fans get loud again for the 1-2. The delivery, that one over to Ross. Fields it, trying to turn the double play over to first in time. And that's the ball game. Brett Reed will collect, Nathan Laird will collect the save, and the Kitchener Panthers have now won 3 straight ball games. The final here, 6-5 over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. What a game.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Rick Boone before the game, and he said his goal was that they just wanted to play solid baseball, fundamental baseball, and try and leapfrog his way up, and hopefully, go 14-20, and play better baseball moving toward the playoff position. So, this is just proof in the pudding for him tonight.
So again, the final score, 6-5 Panthers. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick chat for the post game here at Jack Couch. So once again, the final, 6-5. We'll be back after this. Do a 90 seconds.
Located in the heart of downtown Kitchener, the museum is an emerging cultural hub of activity.
Well, the museum is an organization that's on a high trajectory, and we have raised the bar of cultural generally, I believe.
Unheard of in smaller towns, the museum has housed world-renowned exhibits such as Andy Warhol and now the Titanic.
Titanic is a spectacular exhibit. It's a very, very personal exhibit. As you come through, you're given a boarding pass and you assume the name of one of the people actually on the ship.
With Kitchener's high-tech industry rapidly growing, plans for expanding the museum are also in the works.
So our plans for the future are to grow our footprint and add more space so that we can get to a point of having 2 exhibits at the same time, one focused on the technology side while one's focused on the art side.
Minutes from city center condominiums, your days of leisure will only be enriched by a visit to the museum.
At Enterprise.
All right, we're just getting set up here. Welcome back to Kitchener Panthers Baseball on YouTube at 98.5 CKWR. Mark Pare, JP Soucie here in the broadcast booth here at Jack Couch Park. What a game. Back and forth it went, but it was a Spencer Ross single in the 8th that ended up finishing this one off for the Kitchener Panthers on top of a great double play to finish the game off in the 9th. What did you make of this ball game?
It always comes down to execution, and whoever's going to execute in those key moments. Tonight, obviously, Kitchener did their job in executing. It's always fun to watch the ball fly out of the park. That's an easy way to look at things, but when it boils right down to it in a one-run ball game, it comes down to defense and it comes down to execution in the right moment. So Kitchener certainly did that tonight.
And one of those key moments, of course, again, Braxton Haggith hits his home run in the 7th, ties the game here at 5. You get into a bit of a jam in the 8th if you're the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. The base is loaded. Kenny Williams comes in and is a pitch away from getting out of a bases-loaded jam with no damage. But it's just that one pitch that really made a huge difference in this game.
I mean, I still tip my hat to him because he came in a really hard situation and did what he needed to do. He actually got the ground ball. And if it wasn't for what I call the Jack Couch bounce, it's quite possible he gets out of that inning. Do I think Patel could have had that at shortstop? Sure. But it's easy for me to say that because I'm wearing headphones. But the reality is that Williams I think he did a really good job, but Kitchener did a little better job than he did tonight.
On offense, Raul Gonzalez with a 2-run shot in the first inning. 2-run shot of his own by Nick Parsons in the 5th as well. And again, it's similar guys that they're starting to put pieces together. But the difference is those losses, when those pieces were coming together, they're turning into wins. And that feeling is going to start to rub off in such a positive way throughout that clubhouse.
Well, there's no question that, winning begets winning. And you start when you're winning, and you're winning by executing well and doing certain things well, pitching well, blocking balls, whatever it might be. You build on that. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to build on those positives. Whereas when it's a negative, it can maybe drag you down a bit. But when it's a positive like this, and they got 3 wins in a row, and there's a reason they're winning 3 in a row, you keep building on it. So, tip my hat to them. Good job.
Absolutely. And a big thing that I want to key in on here too is that this was unlike the last 2 victories. Of course, in Brantford on Friday was a 12-3 score, a blowout there, another blowout last night in Toronto. This time, they won a close one, 6-5. It's a 1-run game. It's a little bit of a different one, but it kind of gives them that mindset of we can win these style of games too. We don't have to worry about, hey, let's get this fantastic pitching and just blow the ball out of the ballpark every, second or third pitch and, get these blowout victories. They can do it in these close, I guess, what I would call playoff style games.
So it's fun when you're, in the lineup and you're doing a blowout and you're winning by 10 runs. It's fun because it's kind of casual and carefree. But this is more fun because what it does is it brings everybody together, and the intensity level is a little different. So everybody runs out onto the field on that point. It's kind of a fait accompli when it's 12-3 or big number.
Yeah.
But when it's close like this and there's a little bit of tension to it, it helps solidify the team and it builds on that championship ingredient that everybody needs, which is a little bit of chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the Kitchener Panthers, wins in 3 straight ball games, their first big win streak of the season. They're looking to continue that on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a doubleheader here at this ballpark, 5:15 first pitch against the London Majors. We will continue a game that was actually started last month that ended up getting rained out. I believe it was in the 3rd inning. Kitchener was up 1-0 in that game. So we'll resume that one, and then we'll continue on with the second regularly scheduled game on Sunday evening, or pre-evening, as I like to call it. It's 5:15, whatever you want to call it. Well, we thank you for joining us here on Kitchener Panthers Baseball, whether you're on the radio dial or watching on